27 teams, 21 cities, over 200 games, one T20 national champion. A new era of American cricket starts now. The inaugural Toyota Minor League Cricket Championship presented by Sling takes place nationwide this summer. Watch live on Willow.tv. Toyota Minor League Cricket, brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. Presented by Sling TV, home of Desi Entertainment and Cricket.
Yeah, we have to go from there. Nobody is getting into it. How do we know that we are on? I check. Okay.
Oh, wow, you look amazing in that shirt. Well, you're wearing...
If somebody can give us the screen. Perfect boy! Hey, you have access to MLC. Boy, okay. Aniket, do you have your MLC app working? MLC app working. Huh? Cricket club. Oh, cricket club. I got confused. Anand confused with this. Thank you. Thank you, Sri.
बहुत चल रही है यार साइड स्क्रीन का जो नेट है वो तक चल रहा है अच्छा ये ऊपर कर दिया क्या थोड़ा और नीचे करो
So Pradeep, what do you think this pitch is? When you know what the target you think? Very true. The outfield and the grass thicker than what we normally consider for the match. The ball doesn't travel much. Thunderbolts doing well. I'm looking to settle in. It's a young team come together in quick time. They have 3 first-class cricketers in the squad. Andreas is one of them. Having played for South Africa. Wide down the leg side. Accompanying Andreas right now is Roger. Roger has some good potentials. He played for the it's always beautiful to watch a left-arm pacer coming over the wicket. Very true. Very true. The angle coming in over the wicket is always beautiful to watch. Oh, what a lovely shot it was. Short ball, ultimate wicket. For a single. Really well played. Got on top of the ball, very quick there, in no time. Oh, what a lovely shot there! That was a sharp shot, what a beautiful shot there. That was phenomenal. Off the back foot, real quick line. Not challenge goes out there. Undering 6. Thunderbolts really needed that. A wonderful shot. You could see that coming, Pradeep. He was itching to play that shot a couple of balls back, but this time around he was went onto the back foot really quick. What a wonderful pull that was. Straight in the middle of the bat. It sounded good even as it left the bat. A lovely shot all the way to the sky like 6.
Jersey number 6, what's your name again?
Watch over number 3. Zubair back again. Third over. That shot was so well hit. There was a temporary break in the game because the ball is being hunted down. Pradeep was talking about the makeup of the Seattle Thunderbolts team. For all 27 minor league teams, they're constituted in a very specific way. where each team has around up to 8 players from locally. They have a couple of players whom they can get as free agents. Up to 3 players considered as pros having played first class.
Correct.
Around 4 players who were part of the youth squad. So it's really well put together, and it's consistent model executed by Manvi for all critical teams. Three pros and Thunderbolts. Andreas and Shambi, both from South Africa.
स्टैंड हिला नहीं है, थोड़ा मैं टेंशन और कर रहा था तो उसकी वजह से थोड़ा
And of
पीछे हो
course,
गया था, इसलिए ऊपर
very good one, Harmeet Singh, the team's captain. They also have Pradeep. Absolutely in our backyard. Great combination of experience, insights, youth, lovely British package. This really is the first tournament Thunderbolts are playing together. Speaking with Coach Harmeet, with the captain Harmeet in the morning, he was talking about how difficult it is to understand the balance of the team, the players' strengths and weaknesses, how they cope in match situations, mixing the throws with folks to play the game just for passion, and getting all of that right in quick order. That's a tall task for any team. It's still a young team. This is the 4th game for the Thunderbolts. The first game they're playing at home. It's always a challenge, traveling and playing your first games. They didn't have a good luck with their tosses either, losing 3 yesterday. But I'm sure they're going to hope for a change of fortunes in this game. I could see it not seen at the back net. Yeah, that's a very good observation. I think the ball looked good. And they can clearly see the inside. There looks like that's interesting there. And the body. And I think the conditions are perfect. Great kind of day. And to the point that the Thunderbolts will have to do the not 15 back into the game. Good shot. There's ready for Ferdinand for a quick single there. So he's getting a strike. So the key is again, well played, right in the third man, forcing a change of speed, a quick 2, well run. Batsman doing nothing special there, taking what the bowler is giving them. Pretty open angle. Oh, what a lovely shot. Straight over the infield. A wonderfully hit ball. Power play enables the batsmen to open their shoulders. It was in the slot.
Let's go, set!
End of a profitable over for the Thunderbolts. These are pure proud moments for many in Seattle. We have a vibrant cricketing scene out here, has been many years. Increasingly, there's been more maturity in the overall setup. Cricket academies are flourishing. The MLC academy right now hosts around 100 wickets. We have a local youth team around 250 cricketers, young talent. The interest has always been there. And what's happened right now, though, is a very structural setup, culminating in the formation of the Seattle Thunderbolts. These are wonderful times for Seattle cricket. And we're having a technical difficulty here.
थोड़ा टाइम का खुल जाओगे आप
That's what we see. We had a longer HDMI cable. Yeah, this HDMI cable. What happened? Thunderbolts just about the second wicket. Really well the Thunderbolts plan B, but you're absolutely right. You need to get the balance right in the initial part. Having same migration, need for quick runs, taking the restrictions initially. Moon Jacob on strike right now.
Great stuff here.
Confidence start them on there. So dance. Siddharth seems to have a fairly straightforward action, nothing complicated. He hasn't given it much move yet, because the ball is still shining on you. In the power play, you can't afford to give too much of a good over there. The end of the over from Siddharth. A bowling change right now. Marty Kane, the captain, bringing him Savan. Marty is also the playing coach and captain.
Marty, come strong, Marty.
Thunderbolts definitely. Actually, the conditions as such, I agree with you. He is going to be a spin target on this round. All being slow, conditions are pretty cloudy. It's a classic Seattle day. Nice round on action, punch to cover, a dot ball over there. Taking back to the bowler, first up. Marty Kane. With the back, Chalatta, what is happening? You're not able to get it out? We just have to talk really. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, got it. Thank you. Very quick second throw. To the right. Good wicket. Single. Right there, you see how straight right there, rest all the way. That was hit beautifully. He was to the pitch of the ball in no time, and the safest of lofted straight drives, right over the side screen. That cleared the side screen by a good 10 feet. That was an outstanding shot, a lovely six, straight behind the bowler's head. And ironically, those are safe shots. It was a quickish ball, and the batsman was so quick to bounce on that. Terrific strike, right over the bowler's head. Official word became here with the six Achani, and he was going to Manu. Manu is slightly drunk, defending back to the bowler. Slightly played, slightly off. Andreas has done the bulk of the scoring so far for the Thunderbolts. Nice shot. That ball to covers. Yeah, His shoulders it's
I would say intuition shot.
We often say, Ravi, the best place to be once you hit a ball is to go to the non-strikers.
Absolutely, that's the best place to watch the game is on the other side of the and then the back even again these days from the old
Well said. That was a well-judged catch at long off by the current grab the wicket up. Down to the last ball of the power play. It's really not the scoring rate that's a problem for Thunderbolts, but the loss of those 3 wickets. Nevertheless, they did that. Been a very professional display by the first of double header this weekend. Current taking strike. Going to be interesting to see the change of mind with the left-hander. We have an enthusiastic crowd gathering to watch live cricketing action. At the end of the power play, well bowled, points it out. Wicket in the over. San Diego is coached by Rajinder Singh Gai. Rajinder Singh Gai for players who have watched Indian cricket over the years, representing India. Played alongside the likes of Kapil Dev and Madan Lal in the late 80s. Punjab captain for 2 years. Was very excited to bring the young team to Seattle. Wonderful to speak to the young team. Marty coming on to bowl. Second over in this one. It's rough to see the point. Go! Marty gives hardly any time to the batsman. Steering them on perfect line there. Left-hander. Long off. Squeeze hard, lights. Outside. Good to back, good to back. This is about a left-right competition. Stop the back foot. Quick single again. Right from Matthews. Very nice, pleasant day in Seattle today. 3 wickets from cloudy conditions, but it's pretty warm. Wide there, Karan will be the good point of not putting that away. Some good time offer.
I think umpire agrees with us. I think that's right there.
Very quick second over from Marty. Timmy! Timmy! Timmy Patel is batting. Timmy has been a very effective bowler, perhaps a standout bowler for Brighton so far in the tournament. He had an outstanding spell of 4 overs 3 for 14 in an earlier game. Really, perhaps a bit of threat. I believe Timmy will play first match.
It's throwing down the gauntlet from ball 1 there. Oh, wonderfully struck. That's a ball. Good comeback from the bowler. But Andreas was down the track in a shimmy. So beautifully struck. And one more. This is lofted straight to backward. Deep mid wicket for a 6. I want to say cow corner there, Pradeep.
Yep.
The umpire waiting for confirmation. Yes, it is a 6 indeed. Andreas is really taking on the attack here. 2 sixes and 3 balls. Makes his intent absolutely clear. Puts the bowler immediately on the defensive. That is hard, aggressive cricket out there. Phenomenal batting by the Thunderbolts vice captain. And now a quick single to mid-wicket. Very mature, lovely batting by Andreas and the Thunderbolts. giving very little time for the bowler to settle down. Isn't that, I mean, that's what 2020 cricket is all about.
It is. It doesn't matter, Arvind, as you mentioned, how experienced you are and what level of cricket you have played in the past. It all depends on that day. And as you rightly said, Andreas looks in a good touch. And that ball was slightly away from the off stump, and Karan was quick to go on the back foot, punch it down between covers and extra cover for a quick single. A little bit of a shabby feeling there, but no damage done.
And that's really what Thunderbolts need. Rotating strike, giving as much of the strike as possible to Andreas. So Karan showing a lot of maturity, taking quick singles. And that's one more from Andreas. But this time taken at long on. Andreas was keeping the attack on. A similar shot, but this time it seemed to come slightly at the toe edge of the bat.
So exactly, this is what I was mentioning a minute ago, Arvind. Experience comes into the picture. Like if you can see Timil after got hit for two couple massive sixers, he pulled the length a little bit and he slowed the ball. The delivery was not at the normal pace that he normally bowls, and that's what got Andrews in a tricky situation. And the ball could not clear the boundary, and the fielder, the long on, has taken a wonderful catch.
Yeah, played a tad bit too early, I would say. Didn't get full hold of that.
Change of pace was the key there.
And pulling the length a fraction back. Very, very well said. That was a huge blow for the Thunderbolts. They lose their best batsman in the tournament so far in Andreas.
He looked in very good nick, and definitely wicket at this time. And for a set batsman to head back to the pavilion is kind of concerned, but these things we are bound to expect in T20 game. As you mentioned, Thunderbolts can bat all the way to number 11. So the new batsman depends a lot on the new batsman to come in, adjust to the field, adjust to the pitch, adjust to the conditions, and then have a small partnership between the two batsmen out there in the middle, can put them back on track.
The experienced Shadley comes in to replace Andreas. One South African replacing another. But that was a good strike from the Surf Riders. Timil Patel went for 14 runs, but I'm sure he wouldn't mind any of those two sixes because they got the dangerous Andreas out. A key wicket, well bowled by Timil. The score right now, 53 for 4. We're at the middle stages in the first inning. This game, still early stages, but it is these middle overs that's going to dictate what the target is going to likely look like. You have two relatively new batsmen at the strike. A quick single to mid-wicket. Bring Shadley on strike. Devam Srivatsava is the bowler. That was a quick ball. Right arm orthodox, bowling around the wicket to the left-handed Shadley. Oh, interesting field change. First slip brought on. Oh, and why not? You have a new batsman in the crease. A lovely drive from Shadley for a quick single to mid-off. It's really good to see an aggressive field setup even in 2020. The San Diego Surf Riders are making their intent clear. They are on the hunt for quick wickets here. Well played by Karan. Steered to backward point there for a quick single. Devon Shrivastava, pretty clean action. Young player.
Tall.
Good to see strapping tall off spinners in the game. A good load up. Pitched on middle and leg. Defended to short covers. It's been a pretty good over so far.
Yes, it has been. Like you mentioned, yes, it's a very aggressive captaincy and intent shown by the San Diego Surf Riders, getting us slip in, while Thunderbirds are slightly in the back foot at the moment, losing 4 wickets. So a lot depends on this pair, both very experienced and talented cricketers. Charlie from South Africa and Karan has played a good level of cricket back home in India and as well as in the leagues around in the United States. So Seattle definitely needs a partnership from these two. And it's
Timil Patel back in the back.
a small correction there. It's Sid Matani back in action after 1 over from Timil Patel, where he got 2 massive sixes by Andreas, and then at the same time he had the last laugh getting him out. That's well pitched outside the off stump. Karan pushing it down to gully, but couldn't beat the fielder out there.
The batsmen are looking to settle down, as they should. 12 overs remaining in the game. They have a fairly decent run rate at this point, 6 runs and over. A partnership of around even 4 to 5 overs can really help them on course for a good target.
Absolutely. I mean, the key is a small partnership. Like you said, 50 is a lot for me at this point, but yes, 20, 30 in a quick time. That will lay the foundation for them to go for big ones in the later stages of the game. They still have plenty of batting to come, but a whole lot depends on this pair right there in the middle.
A nice back foot punch for a single to covers.
One credit for San Diego Surf Riders is that they have read the conditions pretty well so far. I can see the field changes and placements are accurate. So that's really going well for San Diego at the moment.
And really bowling to their field. You know, you can see that they have a 8-3, a 6-3 setup. All 3 fielders on the leg side are boundary riders at the moment. But that requires your spinners to get their lines absolutely spot on.
One thing to notice or observe is that you're seeing a lot of slow bowlers in action. And I think that is definitely one of those things that they picked it up looking at the conditions here out in Seattle. You don't expect much of the air or on the pitch, off the pitch. So the slow bowlers are definitely making inroads into the lineup, and they're being proven effective so far.
That's right. Now, barring those really big hits from Andreas, it's been tough to get under the ball. So the spinners continue in action.
Yeah.
With young Devon Shrivastava back for a second over. Pitched on middle, turning to off. Punch to covers. What a wonderful shot there. Clearing long on. It wasn't a very bad ball, but Charlie read the length so quickly out there. And with what seemed like minimum fuss, managed to clear the long on boundary with effortless ease. What a wonderful 6 that was. That was so well played. The timing on that was impeccable. One step down the wicket and boom. Pressure on the bowler now.
Clearly, Arvind, for me, that was a shot of the day. It just was like a straight line right behind the side screen and right over top of our 2 commentators right here. So we were ducking for some protection. That's an amazing shot.
Yeah, so sweetly timed. It didn't seem like there was that much effort into the shot, but boy did it clear.
That's smart cricket. That is smart cricket. This is what I was referring to a moment ago, Arvind. When you see a batsman playing like Shadley on the other end, there's not much Karan needs to, take chances off, play smart cricket, push it around for a single, give strike back to Shadley.
Nicely driven to long on for a single. And Devam seems to be putting a fair bit of shoulder into his action. It's still a good action.
Yes, very smooth action, and he's using his height to a full advantage. At the last minute, I could see a bit of wrist coming into play.
Easy pickings there. Another single to long on. To retain the strike.
That's a good over for Seattle Thunderbolts right there. Is that the end of 11th over, Arvind?
That's right, yes.
And Thunderbolts are at 68. I mean, given the conditions, also losing early wickets, I would say they are comfortably placed at this moment.
That's very true. If they are able to continue this in the remaining 9 overs, you would expect them to double the current score. Anything in the range of 145 on this wicket is going to be hard.
Yep.
A misfield there, resulting in a quick single.
That's a very well taken single. As you can see, the ball is going to stop on the field due to the wet conditions and also thick grass. That's one of the things that folks, especially coming outside Seattle, needs to get used to. The ball wouldn't travel as would you see in other parts of the country.
Another quick single to mid-wicket.
And it's been raining a little bit last night, so you will see the conditions very hard for the ball to travel. But this is smart cricket. This is smart cricket in a sense. We have an experienced pair in both lefties, while Shadley is taking the most aggressive approach, while Karan is being more smart, trying to rotate the strike. And that should be the key for this particular pair, for at least for another 2-3 overs. What do you think, Arvind?
I agree, Pradeep. This partnership, already 17 runs in 21 balls. It's been a steady hand. They do this for another 2-3 overs. They really can open up in the last 5. A quick single to covers. The field setup is interesting. You have 3 fielders on the leg side, all of them boundary riders. It forces the bowler to maintain a 5th stump line. Any add on line, they're going to take a single. But I'm sure at this stage of the game, I don't think San Diego Surf Riders are going to regret that. A singular ball is probably something that both teams are going to be comfortable with in a way. Again, punch to mid-wicket. Trying to put pressure for a 2. A little bit of confusion. I didn't think a second was on the cards.
I think this is the calculated risk that San Diego Surf Riders have taken by pushing the fielders to the boundary. And as you can clearly see, the ball doesn't travel. So they took a chance of taking a second, but the fielder from mid-wicket was so quick, they had to go back and stop it to 1. So that's a good fielding from San Diego team.
Meanwhile, nicely flicked by Karan for a single to the vacant mid-wicket area. Nice use of the wrists. That's the end of the over. Pradeep, today was a historic day for India in the Olympics. The first ever gold by an Indian in track and field, by young Neeraj Chopra, hurling the javelin for over 87 meters. That was just wonderful news to wake up to. It was sensational.
Absolutely. The entire, population of about 1.35 billion back home in India and all the expats in all parts of the world have woken up with this amazing news. And Arvind, thanks for the reminder. Yes, we all been focused to the TVs, to all the social medias everywhere. Neeraj Chopra, hats off. I mean, an amazing effort. And again, this is like a javelin throw is like a spear. Now I think India is in the right direction. Spearing ahead. So putting us forward in these events and this Olympics, not only a gold, but also we crossed our maximum number of medals from 6 to 7 for the first time.
Yeah.
So it's an hats off to each and every individual for their hard work. And not just cricket now, people are also paying attention to other sports. And I think as the cricket lovers as we are, we should support the other sports as well
Absolutely.
and give whatever we can to encourage these guys.
Absolutely. Increasing the medal haul from the London Olympics. 7 medals and across multiple sports, right? Now, wrestling, boxing. Of course, the hockey team winning bronze, I'm sure, was it was a bronze medal, but that made a billion people proud. Meanwhile, back to action after a short break. A loosener there, but not too much damage done. Cut to backward point for a single.
I think Brian Lee Richards is the new bowler. He's lucky to get away with that.
I know.
Karan was slightly not expecting, to be honest, of that kind of a delivery, but it's a loosener.
You're right, Pradeep. He got away with one there.
Another one.
Fluently cut by Shadley again to the point area for a single.
It was almost a wide there. Shadley was able to connect, got a single to deep point.
And this is where the outfield being so thick means that there isn't going to be as much value for a glide to third man as you would in other stadiums. And right on cue is exactly that shot. This one was shot. It was glided to squarish third man for a couple.
So this is where the challenge comes in. This ball on any other field or any other ground would have easily got boundary for Karan, but the ball literally stopped before reaching the boundary. So sometimes a player of Karan's caliber would hate to play on these kind of conditions, especially the ground conditions. Ball wouldn't travel. But I've seen Karan hitting huge sixes in T20 domestic T20 tournaments right here in Seattle. So he has the ability, but I would say waiting for the right moment. And after the first 2 balls, looseners, I would say, from Brian Lee, now he's sticking to his line and length. A gentle medium pace outside the off stump, like a 4th stump line.
Forcing the batsman to generate all the pace.
Correct.
A lot of shoulder into it.
I think the key thing that Seattle team needs to pick from this first half of the game is to put the ball in a perfect line and the length, of course, and force the batsman to drive, because that's where you can restrict the number of runs. But if you put the ball in or give it too much of flight, there's a chance of the batsmen clearing the ropes, especially the deep ones on the straight boundaries are slightly shorter.
That's right.
Compared to the ones on the side. And folks at this level can easily clear that boundary. So those are the adjustments I would recommend for the teams to adapt quickly so that the result can be in their favor. At this point, Thunderbolts are doing a good job. 77 in 13 overs for the loss of 4 wickets.
Nicely punched to extra cover for a single there.
So Arvind, I think the time has come for Thunderbolts to take an aggressive approach at this point. Another 7 overs left. What do you think?
Yeah, the back third of the game. Traditionally in T20, the 14th to 20th overs. They do have 6 wickets in hand. This pad is now settled. It's a nice partnership, 25 runs of 30 balls. Timil Patel bringing himself on there. If you recall, he got the danger man Andreas out. Nice action, bowling over the wicket to the lefties. Nicely slapped there for a single. The ball is coming sweetly off the bat
San
there from
Diego
Shadow.
would not mind these singles. And if you can see, the experience comes into picture as Timil is pulling the length and not offering any foolish deliveries for the batsmen to heave at or swing. So he's restricting the scoring to either a single, and rarely you see a double, but singles won't hurt San Diego at this point. So that's a very smart correction on the line and length. If you see when Andreas in the beginning, he offered a foolish deliveries, which were put away easily by Andreas, and amazing shots. So this is a good bowling, I would say, a good approach.
Very true, Pradeep. And as you said, the square boundaries here are pretty long, and the straight boundaries much shorter. As a bowler, there's you're incentivized to keeping it a little bit back of length forcing the batsman to go on their back foot and play square. And when they do that, at the most you get a single, especially if you can bowl to your lines, pack the offside like the serve riders have done. That can be pretty effective. It still requires the bowlers to bowl to their field, but that's exactly what they're doing.
Perfectly mentioned, Arvind. I think the line and length is a key factor for any bowler or for any player to hit at. But looking at the conditions, as you mentioned, if the side boundaries are bigger than the straight ones, one would always want to adjust your length, pitch it a bit of short of a length or a short pitch so that the batsman can go, put the batsman mostly on the back foot. So they would pierce the field, and also the long boundaries can be a challenge. And if they hit through the ground, the maximum they could get is a couple. And for a T20 game, singles and doubles wouldn't really hurt as much as the boundaries would do.
Release back into the attack. The attempt was there to play to the third man. Perhaps a little bit finer than what the batsman wanted, but it's 4 nonetheless. And the first boundary in a fair while, that's going to be a lot of relief for the Thunderbolts. They needed that one. The serve riders are trying to plug that gap in the field. A short third man in place right now for that shot. A very quick single, good running between the wickets. Karan back on strike. This partnership is motored along to 30 runs of 38 balls.
Looks like they're following our instructions, Arvind. We expected 30-40 runs of partnership.
Oh wow, that was heaved on the leg side. It's a skyer. Oh, and that's a drop. That's quite unexpected out there. The fielder had plenty of time, but never really got his feet set. Moving to his right, never looked comfortable taking that, Pradeep.
Yes, he actually covered it pretty well. He judged it perfectly. His body and head, everything was in place. But when the ball hit his palms, I think it hit on the harder part of the hand, and it just juggled and dropped. Could be costly for San Diego, because we have seen Karan hit massive sixers, and he's just trying to open up, and this drop chance will definitely do a world of confidence for him to go and take the benefit out of the drop chance. So let's see. The next couple of hours will be interesting. That's a very good hit.
Right on cue.
Slapped it.
You can see the batsman getting more aggressive, Pradeep. You're right.
Yes. So stay tuned, folks, that are watching this stream online. Interesting times coming up. Another 6 overs left. As I mentioned earlier, Karan Rao is known for his big hits as well as sheer timing. He possesses both forms of the game. He switches to those formats very quickly. Very experienced player. And also, Arvind, I think the last year and a half where there was a minimum amount of cricket for these cricketers, we can't be so harsh on them as well. They're coming back. They're training very hard. The timing might be a little bit off from what they would love to have on a normal day. So as we open up more from the pandemic and the restrictions that we had in the past, I guess every player, every sports person across the globe would come back to their natural talent again, and it would be wonderful to see our cricketers back in action.
Very well said, Pradeep. Shifting to different conditions. Nicely fielded by Tamil back on his own bowling. And for these batsmen, switching from turf wickets to concrete is going to be hard. Despite pros playing at the game. Oh, that's wonderfully done by Tamil. Pitch outside off.
The ball kept low.
The ball keeping low. The keeper collecting it and then
Ankle.
got the bails off in a jiffy. Really well done by the keeper. Leaving, the batsman tried to regain strike, but it was too late.
Absolutely, the credit should be given to the keeper in this dismissal. Karan was right in stepping out. He saw the loop in the ball, well flighted by Timel, and he was right on the pitch of the ball. The only thing that did it was the bounce. For some strange reason, this is one of those balls that kept low, and the keeper, as Arvind mentioned, had to pick it up at the ankle level, and in a jiffy took off the bails even before Karan could turn back. So it's a good wicket at the right moment. Unfortunately, Karan could not take advantage of the drop chance, and the fielder down and deep square leg must be feeling very relieved after dropping a catch that seemed to be pretty straightforward. But these things happen in cricket, and like I said, unfortunately, Karan could not take advantage on that drop catch.
Harmeet brings himself on, the captain of the Thunderbolts. We have 28 balls left in the inning. At 90 for 5. This could go anywhere, Pradeep.
So normally we would expect anywhere like 50 to 55 runs added.
Oh, what a massive hit there! Massive!
There is that
That
six.
was massive. Over cow corner.
There is that 6 now, so we are looking at another 44, 50 runs easily. So we are bang on target, Arvind. The par score looks very achievable. 150 is very achievable. Need couple of big hits. They still have batting. They run deep to the 11. But that's a very good hit from Harmeet Singh. First ball.
The audacity of that shot.
Safe.
First ball. That's incredible, Pradeep.
Yep.
How do you do that?
This is what I was mentioning, Arvind. Yes, to your point, the first ball, how do you do that is basically the conference that you have, the practice or the sessions that you're having with the team. You might be seeing bowlers at all levels bowling at them. So it's all about their conference. So they take that into the game, into the match situation. Yes, sometimes they fall into that 50-50, catch-22 situation, whether to go for it or not. But this was a perfect time. Arvind said, let me free up my arms. But the way it came, oh boy, fantastic shot.
Yeah, the captain taking on the responsibility. Oh, that ball bounced and kicked, but finally negotiated in the end by Harmeet for a single down to third man. And that 6 came right on the back of Karan, stepping out, getting stumped, and then the very next ball to have the confidence. There's a little bit of loop in that, but still to clear square leg. Wow, that was a beauty.
Like you said, Arvind, hitting a ball for a 6 is doable and is very much a part and parcel of the game. But for a batsman walking in after a settled batsman getting dismissed of a flight ball and that too of a stumping, and the guy looks at the loop, he comes in and swings the bat, and it's not a small 6. Boy, oh boy, it cleared the boundary by miles. So that speaks volumes of the confidence that the captain Harmeet Singh has. It could be for many factors, having practicing regularly, playing at that level, like you mentioned, one of the profile players listed in the 11 for Seattle. But to see that kind of confidence, it also, build confidence in the players coming in after this is number. So it's amazing to see that kind of a talent. And hitting a far experienced bowler like Timo, who has played international level cricket, it's good to see. It's good to see that.
Brindley, meanwhile, bring back for his third over of this spell, bowling to Harmeet. Maintaining the length and a line outside the corridor. Harmeet missing out on a punch there. 4 overs to go. They're 99 for 5. 130, 140 still in.
That side, the ball is up in the air and long on is coming underneath the ball, and looks like that fielder has taken the catch. It's Zubair taking the catch, completing the catch easily, and that's it for Harmeet. A short stay, but it's the right approach, Arvind, because time has come for some big blows, and in doing so, he had to forego his wicket. That's the wicket number 6. And our par score, according to our commentators, we're looking at 150 would be a par score on this ground, given the conditions and wet conditions. They're on track for it if they have a couple of good blows, and they still have batsmen all the way up to 11. But I really like the way San Diego have read the conditions. They have slowed on, on their pace. They have more of a slow bowlers in the attack. Even if you look at Brian Lee, I can see the ball is focusing more on the length than the pace, and that's making Seattle's life harder because they have to put in more power to get the ball away. So I think all the hands up for San Diego team for reading the conditions well and sticking to their strengths.
Abir Chippa now comes on strike. If you need full rewards for your shots, going straight down the wicket was the cue, and that's exactly what Harmeet did. It was well struck, and it was a good catch pulled like a feet in front of the boundary. He had the right intent, Harmeet, there. You win some and you lose some. Well bowled, quick single to gully. And that's the 100 up for the Seattle Thunderbolts. The 100 coming in the 17th over. That brings Abir Chippa back on strike. Brindley is bowled brilliantly. Very good economy rate. Forcing the batsman to generate all the pace. Hitting good lines and lengths there. Again, well bowled. Right on the fourth stump. A back of a length. Forcing Abir to punch it and look for a quick single. But none on offer there. It's still dark clouds out there. I don't see much of a rain, but it's starting to get a bit dark. Meanwhile, straying on the leg side, playing that fine to fine leg for a single.
Yeah, for Seattleites, this weather is, I would say, a perfect weather. There's no rain in the air, so that is a plus, a positive. Dark clouds out there, but a slight chance of sun beeping out. But perfect conditions for cricket. And a lot depends on Shadley to take Seattle Thunderbolts to a good target. The par score, like we've been telling, would be somewhere closer to 150, even though the conditions are not good for ground strokes.
Yeah, 3 overs left at 101. You would love around 30-40 runs in those last 3.
So this is where I think the San Diego Surf Riders have made their adjustments, pulling the length and forcing the batsman to go on the back foot. The most they can do is punch through the covers or punch through the point or gully area, but that would only fetch them a single. As you can see on this particular shot, on the back foot, Abir could only put it to mid-off, and the fielder had an ample time to just walk in and pick the ball as the ball stopped in the grass. Just a single, so scoring off the ground would be tough. Right now, the scoring rate needs to improve, and they need to go for some big blows.
An attempt for a reverse sweep over there. Quite couldn't get bat on ball. I think the Thunderbolts are going to recalibrate their target now, Pradeep. It looks like they probably want to target around something in the 125 to 130 range. If you look back to their first 3 games, oh wow, that was hit hard, right on the boundary. A very good catch by Brindley. A feet inside, that's a huge blow.
That is definitely a huge blow. Shadley looked good, and like I mentioned, the side boundaries are big, and that was a shot there to play, and he did the right thing in taking it over, but he was just shot by a couple of inches. Brian Lee judged it to perfection. He was right on the boundary, and the ball landed in his hands very safely. And it's really a big blow for Seattle right there. But then another 20-30 runs if they can get it in the next 2-3 overs. They still have a chance. They still have a good chance because the conditions could be foreign for the San Diego Surf Riders. When they come into bat, they will definitely see, it's hard to score through downstrokes. And if they take chances, and if Seattle can bowl to their strengths, we have a match in hand.
Timil Patel, meanwhile, taking out key batsman. 3 wickets in his 4th over. That was actually well bowled again. Cramped them a little bit for room. Shadley played as good a shot as you'll see. But it was timed well, but picking up Brunley on the deep square leg boundary. Oh wow, that was a phenomenal shot coming down the wicket. Well fielded there in the square leg boundary for a single. At the crease is young Sahil Kancharella. Sahil and Abir Chuppa.
There was a brilliant fielding in the deep square leg boundary right there. It appeared as if it's going to beat the fielder, but he kind of stretched at the last minute and stopped the boundary and almost saved 3 runs for the team.
Oh, well flighted. That's a very good spell from Timur. A beautiful spell comes to an end. 3 wickets in his 4 overs. Taking out Shadley, Andreas, key wickets. Well bowled by the professional.
Excellent bowling from Timil. As you can see, or we noticed, Arvind, the first 2 balls when he was doing a loosener, he was giving more flight. And he got hit for 2 sixes, massive sixes by Andreas. But then the experience comes into picture and he pulled the length back and you see the results. He picked up 3 wickets, including Andreas.
Brunley comes back for his final over. A little bit of a conversation between Marty and Brunley. Decided to go with Brunley.
103 for 7.
The score is 103 for 7. 12 balls left to go. I would reckon the Thunderbolts would want around 18-20 runs. Give themselves a target to fight for.
I want to say I'm a little bit surprised to see Jagrup not coming up the order. I remember him playing higher in the order in the previous games.
That was nonchalantly pulled to the square leg boundary for a 4 meanwhile. Just a fraction of width down the leg side. And he pounced on that very quick. A lot of good wrist work though. The timing was impeccable. Much needed boundary there for the Thunderbolts.
So the point I was making, Arvind, Jagrup is still in the lines, and that's a massive hit on the leg side. The ball is almost clearing, but the fielder judges it perfectly and takes a catch. Abir is the batsman, I think, got out. Yep, he looked good with that boundary, and in the same mood, wanted to get another one for his team, but this time his hit was shot by a couple of yards, I would say, inside the field and deep mid wicket or square leg area.
Yeah, and really picking the fielder to perfection. Didn't have to move much. That's happened now, 2 batsmen in a row. Credit for San Diego for getting their field placements just perfectly right. We might yet get to see Jagrup in action, Pradeep.
There you go. That's a batsman that I was just talking about. And is it Jagrup or it's Nittel? It's Nittel.
It is Nittel Basavada. So 2 new batsmen on strike.
I hope he doesn't have an injury, Jagrup, because he's definitely not a batsman number 11. Or maybe they changed the 11. I'm slightly confused, but we'll wait and see if Jagrup is still in the batting lineup.
Well bowled by Brunley. A lot of shoulder net hitting the hard lens, making life tough for the new batsman. It's really hard on batsman number 9. Very little time to adjust. Oh, that was fluently hit. Another drop catch there. Backward at the sweeper cover, I would say. The shot was on. He did have to move left around 6 paces to get that, but dropping a hard one there.
I would say that would be an easy catch at this level, but the ball looks like the wetness, the ball gathers some humidity or moisture when it rolls on the ground. So the fielder, when he was trying to catch it, probably did not have the timing perfect, hit the hard side of his hands, and the ball just popped out. But at this level, I would say it's an easy catch. 9 out of 10, the players would take them. But as they're approaching the 19th over, there are not many deliveries left for this first half of the innings for Seattle. There's another ball in the air, but this one will definitely fall short of the fielder at deep point. And a little bit of misfielding there again with the same fielder, and that enables the batter to get back to comfortable 2 runs. A small correction there. I think Arvind and I were looking at our information that we got on the roster. Somehow we missed the first wicket while we were trying to resolve technical difficulties, and that makes sense, Arvind, because Jagrup is a batsman who would bat number 1 or 2. And yes, now I remember that. So sorry, folks, on the call on the line for missing that batsman out.
Meanwhile, Brunley completes a very good bowling stint. 4 overs, 2 for 22. The pick of the bowlers today. Bowled really well. The final over of the Thunderbolts inning coming. We hope to see some quick shots here, Pradeep. 6 balls to go. Let's get the big shots on.
Yep, Zubair is coming back in the attack. So 1 over left, 6 deliveries. So Seattle would hope anywhere between 15 runs to score.
I would take that. Oh, that was a wonderful shot. Only for the stumps to come in the way. Really hard hit. Clattering the bails for a single.
But the ground strokes would not matter or would not hurt San Diego at this point.
I'm sure they're happy. They're happy to give 6 singles to this over.
So I think the batters should only look at hitting the ball in the air. That's the way they can maximize their scoring opportunities. So I wouldn't be surprised to see the batters swinging their arms now for the remaining 5 deliveries. They still have a wicket or 2 to go.
Another single to long on. They're pushing for a second.
That's misfield.
They put the pressure on the bowler, on the fielder there.
That's good running, I would say. Put a pressure on the fielder, and as you said, the pressure made the fielder to misfield, juggle the ball. The ball did not come easy or clean in his hands, and that let the batsman go back comfortably for the second run.
111 for 8, 4 balls to go.
So what do you reckon, Arvind? 120? You're looking at the possible...
Yeah, 120. 120. Maybe 10 to 20 runs under par. But still a target that you can fight to defend. Third ball of the over. Squad driven for a single. Well bowled. Offering very little room to the batsman for freeing their shoulders. T20 has really changed how bowlers bowl. You need to bowl 4 to 5 different balls in an over, keeping the batsman guessing. Like that. But meanwhile, the batsman adjusts, moving around on his crease for a quick 2. Shuffling across the crease, forcing the bowler to adjust their lines, which the bowler did, but the batsman did well. Nice wrist work, playing that to squarish fine leg for 2. 3 balls to come. Thunderbolts are going to hope for at least 1 boundary in those 3 balls.
I think the key thing that San Diego is doing all the way from over number 1 to 28 is to take the pace off the ball, forcing the batsman to go on the back foot.
Oh, tried doing a reverse scoop there and missing on it. The batsman disappointed with himself.
And this is again the same point I was mentioning, Arvind. The ball is not coming quick
Yep,
to play those innovative shots.
that's right.
So that's a reason he missed it again. So I hope Seattle is observing and taking a note of what San Diego has achieved in the first half of the game. The key is to take the pace off the ball.
2 balls left to go. Let's see what they have on offer. This was hit straight, flat batted. At most a single there. The batsman coming in for a quick two. And they hold it and they get it. They get it. Good running, putting pressure on the bowlers.
Good aggressive running.
And that concludes the Thunderbolts inning. 2 runs to end the inning.
120.
Yeah, the target is 120 at exactly 6 runs and over.
So the
Given the number of wickets that they lost early up, Pradeep, 120, the Thunderbolts, you reckon around 10, 15 runs maybe that they would be disappointed? I have to say full credit for San Diego for the way they bowled. They picked wickets throughout the inning. They picked wickets in the power play. They rotated their bowlers smartly. As you said, forced the batsmen to take chances. And Thunderbolts did. They tried taking their chances. But in doing so, they lost crucial wickets throughout the game.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on its head, Arvind. The crucial part was the power play. Knowing the home conditions, knowing the conditions better here, one would expect the Seattle would score anywhere in the area range of 40-50 runs, but that did not happen. And to be fair on the folks, on the players, the ground conditions are not that friendly for ground strokes, and that's where I think San Diego players or the bowlers in particular pulled their length, took the pace of the ball, forced the batsman to go on the back foot, and they also analyzed the boundaries, the size of the boundaries very quickly. They realized the straight boundaries are shorter than the side boundaries, and they made the ball the length shorter than what the batsman would expect to hit him over the long on and long of boundaries, and that caused that pressure on the batsman. Apart from one small partnership that came between Shadley and Curran, wickets fell at regular intervals. The biggest one was from Andreas. And I also think somewhere in the top when Jagrup went early, I was counting on Manu to provide that balance for the team. But that didn't happen. After hitting a nice boundary, he fell. And the wickets keep tumbling on one end while Shadley was holding on the other. And Curran gave him a good company for a little while. And then as the overs were getting closer to the end mark, they switched to the aggressive mode. But that's when, again, I give complete compliment and kudos to San Diego for their line and lengths. And, of course, with Timil Patel, we all know him, an experienced, very smart cricketer. After it got it for 2 massive sixes, took 4 wickets, if I remember correctly, Arvind. And to your point, at the early stage, he picked the key wicket of Andreas, who was going blazing guns at that time. And that pushed Seattle in the back foot. And you're right, they're about, I would say, about 25-30 runs short. Our par score, given all the conditions that we talked about, they should have been somewhere around 145, 150. But at the end of the day, the challenge is in your hands. Now you scored 119, and you now better go defend it. And you have the skills, you have the potential, you have the ability. You just have to put your heads together and defend that target that you already put in there, and take the home conditions to your advantage. San Diego will realize in a bit that scoring from ground strokes would not be that easy. So definitely a good match in our hands, and I hope Seattle would bring their best on the field and also in their bowling attack. Anything to say, Arvind?
Yeah, I mean, I think San Diego has provided a template to Seattle for how to bowl on this ground. The straight boundaries are short. The square boundaries are on the longer side. Bowlers, spinners can't afford to give much air. You saw that when Andreas was going bonkers in the initial part of the inning. Most of the sixes came in the long on, long off region. So it's a perfect template for Seattle to follow. They bowl deep. This is going to be tough for Seattle to defend, but they have a capable bowling lineup. But full credit to San Diego for how well they've read the conditions, and especially the outfield. They had boundary riders, and some of the field placements were perfect. Several catches, the big hits. Full credit to Corey, and the bowler rotation was also well done. Tamil taking on the responsibility, taking out key wickets, bowling the hard overs in the end. It's going to be an exciting second half, nevertheless. Joining me in the commentary team here right now is Chalapa. Chalapa, what do you reckon? 120. What do you think are the odds here for Seattle to defend that?
I think the bowling attack we have to see. I think it's a low score to defend. But as you said, the bowling attack, our side of the bowling attack, Seattle team is very good. So to be seen. The outfield is very
slow, yeah.
Especially. So.
The other thing that's going to be challenging.
So the high scores we got was primarily, sixers.
That's right. That's right.
And then, almost sixers closer to the boundary line. Anything on the 30-yard line, it's not going to the boundary.
That's right.
So I think that's a tactic they've seen. San Diego has seen. So you would expect them to play a lot of big shots. So if the fielding and the bowling attack as well, and the fielding setup was, appropriate, that could be early wickets. I think if we get early wickets, if Seattle team gets early wicket, I think that could be a chance.
Yeah, spot on, Chalapa. I mean, that's pretty much what San Diego did as well. They took 3 crucial wickets in the power play, and if Seattle can replicate something close to that, they will position themselves well.
I think some of the power hitters, great, top batsmen, also lost their wickets, due to better bowling, poor shot selection, right? Andreas was great form, Shadley, same with Harmeet. I think one of them stayed for a few more overs. I think score would have been 140, 145.
Very well said. Very well said. Andreas was looking in ominous form. He was clearing the boundary at will until he fell to a good catch along on. And likewise with Shadley. The pros really showing their mettle.
And I think the second wicket, I forgot whose it was. Where they took the one-handed catch. Some their fielding was spectacular, except a couple of dropped catches in deep mid wicket. I guess pretty much they haven't dropped any catch, and their fielding was very good. So hopefully we can Seattle team can replicate that, the same bowling template and fielding placements, and go on.
Very true, Chalapa.
It's going to be an exciting match, especially if Seattle team is able to get early wickets. So we'll see.
Out here in the Pacific Northwest, we have a few different cricket grounds. This game is being played at the Kalahani Park Cricket Ground. We have another cricket ground, the Merimoor Cricket Grounds, which will likely be used for subsequent games as well. It's very exciting to see minor league cricket come to Seattle. Seattle plays in the Pacific Conference, Western Division. It's exciting times for the local cricketing community here. Kudos to the Seattle Thunderbolts management for putting this team together, getting the logistics going, all in short time. With all the developments happening in the space of minor league, major league cricket, it's a culmination of perhaps a decade of hard work. The next 3-4 years are going to be important ones for the growth and development of the sport.
We are joined by Saurabh. What's your opinion, sir?
Yeah, with us is Saurabh. Saurabh is somebody whom we consider the Vishwaguru of youth cricket here. He's been a coach for multiple youth teams for around a decade, leading U11, U13, U15 teams. He's an accomplished cricketer himself. So sort of 119, 120 target. What do you think?
I think we are like 30 short on this pitch. Wherever thing, if we had close to 150, would have been nice. But maybe there's something on the wicket that we will find out when they come to bowl. So I feel like the ball was not coming nicely on the bat. They were not ultimately all shot, and there were a lot of catches at the boundaries. They could not time it.
Yeah.
So we hope to see a similar thing in the second inning and see our team win through.
So Saurabh, I mean, are you excited about cricketing action? Finally, big league cricketing action in Seattle. The first minor league game happening here. You've been associated with cricket for a decade.
Yeah,
How does it feel to have a minor league game happening in your back door?
Absolutely, like it's fantastic. Like a few years ago, looking into what we had here, and we see where we have progressed. It's very exciting to see where we are, and it's very exciting to see how the team has played here, and now we have built a good infrastructure, and we have a good team here, and they have gelled together. And I hope it's very good for the cricket in Seattle. A lot of guys looking forward to play for Seattle. A lot of youth around here. They are looking at the heroes, local heroes, and see how they perform. And they aspire to also play one day for minor league and major league, which is great. I feel like it's a big achievement on behalf of MLC, and I think it's looking very promising, and hope it continues to grow.
Very well said. Very well said. The minor league cricket academy and the infrastructure being set up here. I'm jealous of the kind of infrastructure that's being put here. Even
available when
yes, growing up, even in India, in Chennai, or across the country, this is almost world class. The indoor facility here is phenomenal. 5 lanes, excellent bowling machines, a troika of international coaches in Coach Shadley, Coach Harmeet, and Coach Andreas coaching our U11, U13, and U15 kids. So the infrastructure has come a long way. And who better to address the local scene than Vijay Beniwal? Vijay, congratulations, first game, first minor league game in Seattle. What are your thoughts, sir?
Thank you. Absolutely not the score we were looking at. We probably were targeting around 140, 150. It probably is 20, 30 runs short. But let's see, cricket is a funny game. Let's see how boys come and bowl. And, good things can happen. At least let's see a fight put by Thunderbolts. I think that's the minimum thing that we're looking forward to.
So Vijay, Arvind and I had a pleasure commenting on the game, and what we noticed so far is San Diego were really quick in picking up the conditions, and we feel that their bowling, they took the pace of the ball, and they also pulled the length so that the batters cannot hit through the air, and scoring runs off the ground are very hard because of the conditions. As a manager and an amazing player by yourself, what would be your suggestions to your team?
I think the key here is the first 6 overs, right? With the low score, you absolutely had to get your first 6 overs spot on. Either super economical or get 2-3 wickets, and I think that puts them back in the game. If the other team ends up playing 20 overs, they probably are going to score the run. So really, attack in the first 6, take some chances, and let's hope a little bit luck come this way too, and we get those wickets. And after that, it's about 2 breaks first, right? And I think both sides have to be disciplined, and whoever comes out more disciplined, I think the game will turn that way. And also, I think because of the ground, I think it's a game of boundaries. If you don't hit boundaries, then runs are not there. So really, Thunderbolt should say, all right, if you want to score 120, score on the ground, and let's see how much time it takes to do that. That would be the key.
Good observations, Vijay. If you have to pick 2 bowlers from your side to do the job for you today, and protecting or defending the score of 120, who would that 2 bowlers would be?
That's a tough one. If I have to put money looking at the wicket and condition, probably I would put it on Harmeet and Chadley. But I'm probably going to put my wild horse would be Nitil. I look forward, young boy. I think he's working hard. Looking forward he turned up a good spell today.
Perfect. And one last question, Vijay. I know you mentioned that the infrastructure here in Seattle will be improving in upcoming matches or months. That we are putting in a lot of efforts. What are your thoughts on that? In the next, what are the next steps, the big things for Seattle on the cricket as a whole?
Absolutely. I think there's a cricket being played on the field, so we absolutely want to be good there. But other than that, the infrastructure absolutely has to improve drastically for us so that the players are doing better. I think it all starts with having better grounds, better wickets. So we have Tollgate from a place where we have put the turf wicket. Next year it should be operational, and we will be playing on turf wicket. That's a fantastic start. I think outfield is another area where we need to get better on. Like as you can see, Kalani is lush green, but it's not very conducive for yeah, hitting the ball on the ground, right? So I think really those getting a good wickets, getting good outfield, I think allows people to acquire better skills. I think that's what we will be focusing on in coming 12 months. So when next year when MLC games are happening, we would provide you a better ground so that better cricket can be played.
Awesome. Looking forward to that. Vijay, thanks for spending some moments time with us. Really lovely talking to you. Anand, anything from Marvin's side?
Yeah, you mentioned about the Tollgate Farm grounds. That's super exciting to watch. For our viewers who haven't seen the YouTube video, check it out. The mounds of soil coming in, the pitch getting prepared. Very exciting to see that. Yeah, in a year, we hope that's going to be a world-class facility. Vijay, you want to say a few words about what it's taken to pull the Thunderbolts together? This is going to be, it's been a hard journey, I'm sure. But what's your vision for the team? What's been the journey so far?
Oh, this is a tough one. I think it all goes with we have been. I mean, Seattle has a good small but a strong cricket community, very strong cricket community actually. We have been playing league cricket. We have a group of people who, in name of Seattle Moose, have been playing a lot of tournaments across US. I think they all set the foundation for such a team, right? And then comes MLC, providing a fantastic opportunity to play a very high competitive cricket tournament across the country, and that's translated into bringing a good management on board. And we went across, pulled all our local players, went through a strong regime of like 8 weeks, 9 weeks of practices to get this point. Journey has been awesome. Results have not been yet there, but I think we like I personally believe in the process more than result. So I think if the process is right, the results will follow. It's a matter of time, and with every game we should see improvement in how we play cricket. So hopefully I'll put the game. I will look at the second innings and see if we can put a fight and if we show some improvement right here.
Your responses made me ask you one question, Vijay. I've seen you as a cricketer, amazing cricketer, and the leader. What have you done for Seattle? Amazing stuff. Also, an entrepreneur. You have done a whole lot, which we'd be thankful and grateful for. But as a cricketer yourself, are you not itching to go in the middle and play?
Absolutely, absolutely. Especially when we're slightly behind. I absolutely feel like putting the kit on and going there. But that was one phase, and this is phase two of life. I'm certainly I'm looking forward. Like I follow the boys very closely. I've been with them in all the practice sessions, so I think they're much better than what the results are showing. It's just a matter of time. I have a strong confidence there.
Good luck, Vijay. Thank you for those words. This is a team in its formative ages. First tournament, they've come together very recently. And good luck for you and your team. The organizational muscle and the discipline that you guys have put together. There's always been excitement around cricket here, but it required folks to get together, put some organizational muscle to make this happen. So it's wonderful to see that. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Meanwhile, we're returning back to action. The San Diego Surf Riders settling in. Shadley opens the attack for Seattle. Here you go. Oh, there was some swing there. Good shape. A quick single to long off. Pradeep, suddenly I see swing in the air. There was good shape in that ball.
I would love to see that more.
Yeah, Shadley's bowling is always wonderful. He's been Seattle's most effective bowler in the tournament so far. 5 wickets for practically nothing. He's been a dream bowler for Seattle. Let's see whether he can recreate some of that magic in this game. They need it.
So it's I think it's Mrunal and Sri Krishna at the crease for San Diego. That first ball, like Arvind was mentioning, we could clearly see a swing in the air. Good to see swing bowlers bowling, and Shadley is hopefully can take advantage of the conditions. And this ball again started from the line of the leg stump, and the ball coming in into the middle and off right there, and very well negotiated by Sri Krishna, a tall young guy. Quite a contrast, one a tall lanky player on the striker end and the other one completely contrasting on the non-striker, but we are here to watch some amazing cricket from these young fellows. That's a good ball outside the off stump. I can see the ball swing right behind the bowler's arm. It's a very good swinging outswinger, pitched right on the length, good length, moving away, and batsman has dealt it with the way that it should be. Perfect timing, feet moving, and I can see a good chase here, Arvind.
Well said, Pradeep. The shiny new ball, it's important for the batsman to play the ball on his merit. With Shadley being their most penetrative bowler, it's important for them to see him out. A wide down the offside, struggling to control swing there. Very consistent outswing there from Shadow. Mrunal Patel and Sri Krishna opening for the San Diego Surf Riders.
That's a lovely straight drive back behind the bowler, hitting the side screens behind the bowler and the umpire for a one bounce four. Fantastic shot that from Sri Krishna. He read the ball. It was slightly overpitched, and before the ball could swing, he was right at the pitch of the ball and negotiated right behind and well hit boundary there. And I believe with the swing that I'm seeing from Shadley, they should have a fielder. I think they are.
There you go, right on cue.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to see why would you have a third man. Instead, he would be in a catching position. I would even to my this thing. I would have him in a gully or a third slip.
Oh, effort ball there.
That's a typical fast bowler there, right there for you, Arvind.
Yeah, fast bowler's response.
You get hit for a boundary, and they come with a short pitch ball, which is too wide, way over the lanky, tall Sri Krishna, and it's easy call for an umpire.
That's right, that's right. Shadow doesn't like that straight drive being driven over his head there, making his intent clear. This is the contest here. Let's see what that comeback ball from Shadow is. Straying down the leg side. You could see the effort from Shadley. The batsman isn't going to mind that.
So from our experience and observations in this conditions, especially in Seattle, where the ground most of the times is wet and have moisture everywhere, and the ball, as soon as it hits the ground.
There you go. That was a beauty.
Yes,
that was a beauty. That squared him up.
Yeah.
That was just a dream ball. Swinging in through the air and then leaving the batsman late. How do you even play that?
Yeah, so the point I was making, Arvind, was if the ball is hit to a boundary, the ball gets some moisture. The fielder should make sure that that has been wiped out. And that's the reason you saw Shadley missed the swing for the next two balls. But since the next two balls were not hit for a boundary and went into the keeper, and now you saw the swing back again.
That's right. That's right.
Again, there again. Yes.
Edge. An appeal there. It did miss the
So
bat.
here's the point that they need to get, like put a moist towel in your pockets and keep wiping out the moisture of it from the ball so the bowlers can swing it. So yep, I see a fielder in mid of having a towel, but they missed the plot in the first two balls after.
That's right. Shadow isn't going to be happy with it. But a very effective first over. The figures don't reveal it. Doesn't do full justice to how well Shadley bowled. 8 for no loss at the end of 1. I should give credit to Sri Krishna and Mrunal for negotiating him safely. That straight drive was actually played superbly. The length was there for that pickup drive, bisecting mid-on and mid-off. This is a contest. 8 for no loss. Retaining wickets in the power play is going to be key.
Anirudh.
Anirudh into the attack.
That's a wonderful swing bowling in action. As pleasant to watch such kind of bowlers, Arvind, irrespective of what they get hit or they get a wicket or not. To see that banana swing, the release from the hand, ball lands on the pitch, and you can clearly see right before he hits the pitch, you can see the swing in the air and off the pitch. Amazing talent.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we have the best seats in the stadium, in the ground. Pradeep and I are right behind the side screens. We can see the shape of the ball. Anirudh, meanwhile, the first ball going a tad down wide and called wide. Much better ball. That was right on fourth stump. Good effort ball there.
And this is what we've been commenting all the way along since the game started. Pull the length back. Like you can see, this ball was hit hard into the ground, forcing the batsman to stay in the crease. He doesn't get any leeway to hit the ball in the air. And you put the ball into the ground, you don't expect a run because it goes straight into the ground and doesn't travel much. So this is the length that they need to pick and focus on.
Absolutely, well stated, Pradeep. Those are the hard lengths. Meanwhile, drawing a false stroke, hit high in the air, but landing safely nonetheless. A 2. I didn't think he was in full control of that at all, Pradeep. Could have gone anywhere, but landing safely for a couple.
Absolutely. The ball was pitched a little further up than the previous one, so he had a chance to free up his arms. And since the ball off the pitch is not coming quickly, he mistimed the shot and it went up in the air, luckily not into the fielder's hand.
Another effort ball out there, but this time placed to mid-wicket for a quick single.
I think while we are seeing the quicks in action, Shadley and Anirudh, very good swing bowlers. Shadley has more swing than what we have seen so far from Anirudh. Anirudh is more of a hitting the deck hard kind of bowler than what I saw in the last 4 balls. He depends a lot. He focuses a lot on his line and length. And Shadley, on the other hand, is more of a swing bowler, pitching in the right areas. And if he hits the right areas, then definitely we would see positive results. But my take on it is waiting for the slow bowlers to come in as early as they can, because here the key is to take the pace of the ball. And as we have seen in the first half, that's a good ball. Again, just to my point, taking the pace of the ball, and the batsman had no chance to put that away, just to block it and back into action.
Yeah, Anirudh seems far more comfortable bowling to the right-hander. You could see the line and length there. Nice release. Just seemed more fluid with that delivery. A single to mid-wicket. That brings up the final ball of the over. It's a confident start by the San Diego Surf Riders. Not taking any undue risk. There's a field change for the lefty. There's a long on and a deep square leg are the 2 boundary riders. A very open stance there from Ronald. Oh, a lofted shot, but hits safely over the infield for a 4. Was that to sweeper cover?
Yes. Yes. As Arvind just mentioned, to perfection, Anirudh seems to struggle a little bit against the left-handers. It needs to adjust his line and length, and this is always a problem, not just for Anirudh but for any bowler. When you have a combination of a left-hander and a right-hander, or lefty and a righty, the adjustment has to be on the spot and quickly. Before you realize the batters have hit you for a few boundaries, it'll be too late. And in this case, they had a typical field for a T20, 5 and 4, but the ball was in the opposite direction on the offside, and he just had to clear the infield fielders, and that fetched him a boundary. So we'll see Shadley back in attack to commence his second over, which is third overall, and San Diego is sitting pretty at 17 runs.
A quick single to mid-wicket. This is a good contest. Thunderbolts are going to depend a fair bit on Shadley, providing them with some instances of breakthroughs up front. And the Surf Riders, if they manage to play Shadow out, they're going to be well positioned.
That's very true, Arvind. As the manager Vijay Beniwal pointed out, he was counting on Shadwick and also on Harmeet. We'll see Harmeet in action in a bit. But if he can pick up a couple of wickets up front, that will put some pressure back on San Diego Surf Riders. But that is coming up, and that's exactly, I think, the commentator's curse or blessing, you would say. In this case, it was a blessing. I was just saying if Shadley can pick a wicket, and that happened even before I finished my statement. So it's, I would say, commentator's blessing for Seattle, while it's a curse for San Diego's. But that's cricket. It's definitely a well-needed break for Seattle to.
Yeah. That was that ball, well bowled. The length was just about perfect. I didn't think the pull was on. It was a hard length, but it seemed to hurry onto the batsman. He was cramped for room there, and the top edge forming, excellent cotton ball by Shadley. That was the breakthrough that the Thunderbolts were looking for.
You're absolutely right, Arvind. The length was the key as he cramped the batsman for room. He was hoping Shadley would go for a swing or a fuller delivery, but that was not the case. He missed the length, and at the last minute still wanted to play an expansive shot while he was cramped for room. The ball hurried into him, and not much of a swing, but more of a in-cutter, I would say, in that particular ball. That kind of got him by surprise. And it's a well-deserving break for Seattle if they have to defend the target of 120, like 20-30 run shot. But these kind of wickets at regular intervals would well keep them on track for an, I would say, an improbable but an amazing victory. But we still have another 18 overs to go. Game can go either way. But let's see. The next batsman, Arvind, who is that coming in?
Siddharth Matani taking strike. Oh, that's one more. Is that one more? Is that one more? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Wicket number 2 on a hat-trick. But again.
Well.
There, some shape there again on the fourth stump, inducing the fall stroke. That was top edge, staying high. The wicketkeeper Andreas calling for the catch and taking it very safely in the end. What a phenomenal breakthrough for Seattle. 2-2.
Absolutely, and this is where the talent, the experience, the skill set comes into picture. Shadley pulling the length back a little, and then the results are there to see. 2 balls, more than swing, cutters into the batsman's, cramping up for room. They're trying for some expansive shots. 2-2, easy catch to the wicketkeeper there, ballooning into the air. 3 fielders merging on, but the right call was made by the wicketkeeper with a glove in his hands. Would be the safe bet to take it. And this is exactly what cricketers who are watching online should pick, understand the conditions. It's not your strength, but on the day, given day, look at the batsman, look at the pitch conditions, look at the ground conditions. The key was to pull the length back and then cramp the batsman for room, put him in the crease on the back foot, and you see the results. And for saying this 2 deliveries ahead, I think Sun Surf Riders favorites or fans would be cursing me as a commentator, but that's just an observation and it's come true. And let's wait for the hat-trick ball.
Yeah, they scampered for a change there. Oh, well left. Well left. So Marty Kane, the experienced Marty Kane now on into the middle. The batsman had switched over.
The hat-trick ball has been negotiated. No damage done.
This is the kind of breakthrough that Shanley has given the Thunderbolts game after game. That's wicket number 7 in what is still a young season. And terrific bowling. This was really set up from the first over. You could see the quality in his bowling from ball 1, Pradeep. Shaping a phenomenal shape to the right-hander and the left-hander. That again, he can afford to be aggressive now because there are 2 batsmen. There's going to be a little bit of apprehension. Pushing the batsman to play a little bit more defensively. So those 2 wickets are going to do a lot of, it's going to lift their morale. And not just Shadow, but even bowlers bowling alongside him. They're going to get a lot of confidence from those 2 wickets.
Absolutely. He's been a star performer, both with the ball and the bat. And then you can see that extra bit of energy that he's putting in. And that was a close call, even though the bowler looks a little bit disappointed. But it's a right call, in my opinion. Was slightly high and also down the leg side.
Like any fast bowler, Shadow doesn't like it. I will say I agree with Pradeep. I would give it a wide and a heartbeat, but that's what fast bowlers are. It's probably fired him up more. I don't know whether it's a good thing for the batsman to get Shadow fired up.
And one more thing I would say, given the pressure that he has already created, I would go for another aggressive field on the offside and make the batsman play under pressure. Right now, the field is more of a defensive field set. But a bowler, when he picks up wickets, that's the intent. That's the thing the team should show. So you could make another error from the batting side. Hopefully, the captain and the bowlers can pick it up and then be more aggressive because they are not defending a huge total. Those are the things that any team should look at and how to exert pressure under these calling situations.
Yeah, this is going to be an important over. Can Anirudh give effective support at the other end? That's going to be telling. The experienced Marty Kane is down there. It's the right batsman for the moment for San Diego. They need to ward off this initial incisive thrust. It's going to be interesting to see if Seattle brings Shanley back for a 3rd over. I doubt it. That was a lot of effort in those first 2 overs. They probably want to bank him for somewhere one in the middle and one on the end whenever they need a breakthrough.
I like this move, Arvind. You can see a slip in position right now for Arvind because he's a left-hander. There you go. And the line is right. The length is right. Bowling to your field is the key. Bowling to your field. I mean, that's an amazing demonstration of ability and thinking from the bowler. If he puts in those balls, like ball after ball, 6 balls in a row, you are definitely in for a challenge to chase that target.
That's right. Anirudh, let's hope he's settling into that line right now. That was right in the channel. First up for Marty. A confident punch. That's going to be quick.
Oh, the
that
direct
would have
hit.
been close. That would have been close had it been a direct hit.
Direct hit would be all over for the batsman there because we could clearly see when the ball passed the stumps, he was still short, from the crease. So it's a lucky escape. They're right there for, and also good luck, I would say, for some Surf Riders.
Yeah, Marty timed it almost too well. It hurried to the fielder faster than he expected.
And this is a tricky situation. The ball wouldn't travel on this field. So the batters need to understand and adjust to that very quickly. Run out at this stage is not required.
Straying down the leg side again, finding it difficult to switch lines between left-hander and right-hander right there. Would have been a perfect ball for the left-hander on the 4th stump. But this has already become a context, Pradeep. 2 wickets, anything could happen at this moment. Like you said, it shouldn't be too far for the spinners, the slow bowlers to come into play. Oh, much better ball. Well bowled, well bowled. The line was much better there. I could see a hint of shape even there, Pradeep. It just tells you that if you're consistent and give the ball some room to swing, it will. At the same time, I don't think you can pitch it off far too full because, as we talked,
Yep.
the straight boundaries are short. But that's what 2 wickets can do to you, right? Can put a little bit of doubt in the batsman's mind as to whether they can continue opening up. Well played down the leg side for an easy single to mid wicket.
Yeah, the more the ball goes onto the ground and it gathers more moisture, it will be hard for the bowlers to have a good control on the swing. It would hurt the swing bowlers, like in particular Shadley. But those are the conditions that we cannot, evade from. The only thing they could do is wipe that moisture out, get a good control on the hard ball. Swing will definitely, will be missing out as we proceed into the innings, and a lot depends on
that's hit high-
the
that's
slow.
hit
That's
well.
a very well hit
Very
shot.
well hit,
One
very
bounce into the boundary, or two bounce into the boundary over long on. A good hit by Martin. For me, of the four batters so far, Sri Krishna looks more comfortable out there in the middle. Very compact defense he has. A very good footwork. Looks a very talented cricketer out there. But this shot, again, as you mentioned, Arvind is struggling a little bit on his line and length. And to be fair on him, it's been struggle for all the bowlers when you see a left and right combination out there in the middle. I would say it's the slow bowlers will be in action pretty soon. Would love to see the captain Armit.
Much better. That was much better. Now there's a little bit of a cross piece that seemed to be picking up, but I don't think enough. That final ball was well done by Anirudh. It was an effortless pickup shot by Marty. He's the penultimate ball to Cow Corner. Showed how what a professional.
It was pure timing shot. He picked it up, picked up the length very quickly. It was full on the down the leg, and taking the power play field settings to complete advantage. The right attitude, I would say, the right thing to do at that point. Amazing shot, very good.
Yeah,
shot.
and no risk. It was played in the air, but deliberately so over the infield. Acres of free space in backward mid wicket. Oh, Shadow is back in action. I wouldn't blame him. There's a little bit of a hint of a breeze there. He's taken 2 wickets in the previous over. 1 more wicket here.
Yeah, why would
it's
you
worth the
change?
gamble.
Yeah, why
It's worth
would
the
you
gamble.
change a bowler who's striking and he just picked up 2 wickets? Yes, there would be a little bit of less impact on the swing, but I think if you look at his second over, he's precise on his line and length, and he's cramping the batsman for room, and he's shown some aggressiveness as well. So we are in for an action here.
Yeah, this will be a contest between Sri Krishna and Shadow. That was a single. Shadley crossed with himself for straying perhaps a little bit down middle, allowing Sri Krishna to bring those wrists into action. I agree with you, Pradeep. Sri Krishna looks very compact. In his brief stint here, he's managed to impress us with his balance, with his timing. He seems to have ample time to play the shot for a player so young. Seems very easy and calm.
Yep. I
Very
think he looks
balanced.
technically solid. One thing that caught my attention is his bat is coming down at the right minute. One miss, he would be plumb in front. There are a couple of balls I've noticed where the batter Sri Krishna was trying to force the ball to the leg side, and if the swing conditions still hold, and Shadley can prove a nemesis for him. But I think he has so far, as you mentioned, yes, he looked very compact, very confident, and technically sound as well.
Yeah, very easy in the eye too. Meanwhile, that was a little bit on the middle of the leg for a quick single to mid wicket. Sri Krishna is back on strike. 2 more balls left to go. Oh, well played, well negotiated there.
There was a risk there in that shot where his head kind of falls over a little bit to on the offside, and if he misses it, if he has a swing in that ball or the ball cuts in sharply, you're in for trouble.
That's right.
But so far he got the control on that shot. It looks like he understood the ball, what the ball deviation about the swing or the cutting is happening right now. But I'll be cautious with this. There you go. That's another. This is well played, I would say.
Well played.
Here he got a straight bat coming in instead of playing into the leg side.
And the last couple of balls in the over, Sri Krishna He knows that this is probably the final ball of this particular spell from Shadley. Better safe than to disposition is the better part of Vela here. Do you expect a short ball here, Pradeep? Shadley has tried that to unsettle the batsman. Oh, wrapped on the back.
Inside
pad, but
edge.
Inside edge. Okay. Inside edge there. A good effort over from Shadley there.
Good aggressive field placing by the captain. Harmeet himself in the short covered position. His third over for Shadley. We'll pretty much going to see a change in the bowling from the other end, or in this case, I would recommend to get spin on early, as we do not have a lot of runs on the board.
Oh, a nice shot.
That's a ball outside the off stump.
But the outfield here is going to ensure that stays down to a couple.
That's a very well driven, cover driven shot by Sri Krishna, and fetches him a couple of runs. Very well played shot, and he would be cursing the outfield right here. It would be a boundary on any other ground.
Very true, very true. That brings the end of likely the first spell from Shadley.
Very well bowled Shadley. I think he got Seattle back on track with those two blows to San Diego Surf Riders. 2 big wickets, top order batsman. I like the way he got those 2 wickets, not just by swing, but by smartness and also by putting the length, cramping the batsman for room. Got them into their own shell. That's amazing bowling spell by Shadley, and I think Harmeet is having conversation with Anirudh, and he might have another over here.
That's interesting. We anticipated a change there, but Harmeet keeping the faith on young Anirudh. Let's see whether he's able to repose the faith shown by his captain.
Yep, 5 overs, and there are about 30 runs for the loss of 2 wickets. The run rate is, closer to the asking rate. Run rate is not a problem. Wickets is definitely, and that ball wide out the off stump, a good big swing towards sweeper point, and I think the fielder will get it back in, and time for an easy, comfortable 2 runs for Marty.
Yeah, well played by Marty there. Slapped to sweeper cover there for a couple.
Yeah, I think this is where I and you kind of disagree with the bowling another over with Anirudh. Because the ball doesn't seam anymore. The only thing you need to rely on is to hit the deck hard and pull the length. So the batsmen do not have any room. But as you can see, both the balls are a little bit full for the batsman to drive. So, and especially when you're in power play, if you place the ball between the fielders, you get a chance of getting at least 2, if not a boundary.
Yeah, San Diego has actually played well. They have, barring those 2 wickets, of course, continued to rotate the strike.
This is the line on length that you would be looking at from ball number 1.
Anirudh seems to have the right balls, just not being able to deliver that consistently. 6 balls in an over. You kind of anticipate that for young players, developing that radar and keeping the radar is hard. This is the final over of the power play. That might have something to do with.
Oh, that's a huge hit down the leg side. I think huge swing down the leg. It's a ball that he completely missed his line and also the length. And Sri Krishna, as we mentioned, we've been very impressive so far. Swinged it down the leg and gave a big swing, and the ball traveled all the way over the deep fine leg boundary for a 6. Is that the first 6 of the innings?
That is the first 6 of the inning. That was really well picked up. Yes, the ball was, it had the right length to be stonked, but the batsman still had to time it, get bat on ball, and that's exactly what Sri Krishna did. A quick single, driven to long on.
Good comeback delivery from the bowler, not pitching or losing the line there. It was a little bit fuller to my satisfaction. For these conditions, you need to pull the length back. But in this case, the ball was there to hit and rightly put away to mid on by Sri Krishna for an easy single. Rotation of strikes is also key in T20 formats. When the batsmen rotate the strikes, the pressure would be definitely minimized. You share the responsibility, you share the pressure, and at the same time, the fielding side would slowly become nervous because the runs keep ticking, the scoreboard keeps moving. The pressure will be slightly let off. So the 6 overs, the power play is done, Anirudh.
Yeah, the power play is done. 41 for 2 at the end of the power play.
Compared to Thunderbolts, I think they were 20 odd.
Yeah, perhaps just a little bit more. If you remember, Andreas was going pretty aggressive there during the power play as well. I've been impressed with this pair, Marty and Sri Krishna, motoring along, looking comfortable, not taking any undue risks, putting away the bad balls, negotiating the good balls safely. This looks like a dangerous pair. Seattle Thunderbolts will look to disrupt this one. 23 runs in 23 balls.
I think this move is a very, very good move. Now the power play is over. We are seeing Nittle in action. This is I would say, like a trump card, like even in our brief talk with the team manager. If Nittle can get a couple of wickets for Seattle here, and still you have Armit Singh, the captain, and Karan Rao and Abir, actually 3 prime time slow spin bowlers up their alley. I think Nittle providing that breakthrough here, and Nittle is an amazing leg spin bowler. So if he can get a couple of blows or wickets for Seattle, I can tell you, Arvind, the game will go to the wire.
I hope you're right, Pradeep. It's always exciting to see a leggy in action. It's going to be a contest. He's bowling to a well-set Marty Kane and Sri Krishna. Does he give enough loop? Does he induce a false stroke? These are two batsmen who don't seem to be afraid to play the shots, but that gives the bowler an opportunity. I'm not sure whether there's too much sharp turn on offer, but that's where wrist spinners can take the pitch out of the equation.
Great observation there by my partner Arvind. Yes, in these kind of conditions, as the straight boundaries are shorter compared to the side boundaries, it will be a challenge for a bowler of Nathan's caliber, especially if you're a leg spinner and turning the ball and giving the flight. They would normally entice the batsman to play a false shot and also get the keeper in action as well. But when you see the straight boundary shot, that might slightly discourage the leg spinner to give the complete flight and give the complete time for the ball to float in the air and to turn as well. But we have to keep an eye and watch. He's an amazing bowler, and so far the batsman's that's a close shot right there. Ball in the air for most part of the part when it's clearing the 30-yard infield, but safely between the point and the gully fielder, and fetches 2 runs for Sri Krishna. But interesting times to see how the slow bowlers would come into act here, and that's a right field change. I could see another fielder being put into a point position. Abir, I think, is in the point right now, a gully point and a squarish point. This one again, here the shouts of catch it, but the ball goes over the short mid-wicket fielder for a single. Looks like Sri Krishna is in a hurry after being so compact and very, very comprehensive in his defense with the fast bowlers. With the spinners, looks like a little bit edgy. He wants to finish up the game in a jiffy, which might work in Seattle's favor. What do you think?
Yeah, let's see. He's looked good for his 20 of 24 balls. Oh, that was some turn on offer there. But well played by Marty, going on the back foot, punching it to extra cover for a single. That's the end of the over. End of over number 7. I want to say at this stage of the game, the first third of the inning is done. San Diego Surf Raiders, I think, are well positioned. The target is not a whole lot, 120 for 2. They are well ahead of the required run rate. 2 wickets down. It's still anybody's game. I do think San Diego Surf Riders, it's their game to lose. But until you've seen all your bowlers in action, you never know. It's going to be interesting to see when Harmeet comes on the board. What does the pitch have on offer? It's not a natural turf pitch. You're not going to get extravagant turn like you would in SoCal.
And Arvind, your question has been answered. We'll see the captain of Seattle Thunderbolts in action, Harmeet Singh. He's been very effective and efficient in the past games as well. One guy that they looked up to after Shadley providing the initial breakthroughs. He doesn't give enough room at all for expansive shots. He's very, very disciplined and in his line and length. And that's what I noticed in the last over from Nittle. I thought he was pretty much everywhere in that 6 balls, not outside the off stump or the leg stump. A couple of balls were shot, giving the batsman to rock back and hit him. So he needs to adjust to his line and length very quickly.
That's right. With the right-left combination again proving to be perhaps disruptive for the young lefty, a young luggy. But this will be a contest. Harmeet bowling to Marty.
There is it. There is it. Say, look at the line and the length that Harmeet, in his first ball, has shown us that I'm not giving you any room to hit me. You want to take a chance? Let's. So that's the challenge I would like to see more from Seattle folks bowling to these batsmen. And right now in a T20, I can say, that's an amazing feeling. Wow, that's
nice athletic fielding.
Fantastic feeling.
Diving to his left at mid-wicket.
And that's Anirudh. After bowling 3 overs and then giving that effort on the field speaks volumes of the commitment. It's an amazing feel. Folks, I'm not sure if the camera caught it, but it was a well hit shot to the short mid-wicket. And again, another try, this time a little bit away from Anirudh, even though a diving could not stop the ball and batsman crossover for an easy single. It's good to see such kind of an effort on the field.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it really lifts the bowlers up when you can cut off a single. You really are telling the batsman, hey, look, you need to go maneuver and take some risks out there. The last ball out there was a little bit short, allowing Marty to go on the back foot and hit it through mid-wicket for a single. Harmeet, it's going to be interesting to see his lines for the right-hander. It'll also be interesting to see how Sri Krishna plays him. A little bit of a wind. I'm not sure if he's going to get much of a drift. Actually, he did. That ball cannoned in onto off and middle. Harmeet gives so little time for the batsman to react.
Yeah. From the last few deliveries that he bowled, he's definitely sticking to his line and length. Not much of air or flight in the ball. He's making the batsman cram to the crease. In this case, the ball of inside edge trickles down to short square leg. And before the keeper could get it, it's an easy single for Sri Krishna. I think given this target of 120, which is slightly under par, I would expect the captain and the bowlers to be more...
Oh, that could have gone anywhere. Inside edge.
So lucky, so lucky. It cleaned him up almost with that inside edge going just past or over the stumps. And in fact, lucky to get a single.
That could have gone anywhere, Pradeep. That's true. I would Marty was really lucky to get away with it. It's a classic left arm off spinner's delivery to a left-hander. Turned sharply in. Marty went for the cut, which was probably not there. Inside edge, missed the leg stump, lucky to be there. Nevertheless, the end of good over from Harmeet. 3 runs in that. 8 overs gone. San Diego 48 for 2. Right at the required run rate. They need 72 in 72 balls. This is, one wicket here could change the entire complexion of the game. I will say that Marty and Sri Krishna look very comfortable out there. And really, the Thunderbolts could get a wicket just by stifling them a little bit more, forcing them to take chances.
Exactly, Arvind. In low-scoring games, the main factor is taking wickets, picking wickets at regular intervals. Run rate will never be an issue. That one pretty close to getting a wicket right there. But the ball was actually drifting out down the offside, and Marty reached for it, going for a expansive cover point or over cover drive. The ball did not get into the middle of the bat and almost lobbed into the fielder in covers. So it's a lucky escape.
It's probably 3-4 feet away from Harmeet. Could have gone anywhere there.
It's a lucky break for the captain Marty and also for San Diego. But would you agree, Arvind, that the key factor in these kind of low-scoring games is taking wickets?
Absolutely. They have to take wickets. And they have the right bowling pair right now. The fact that there's a slow target, though, enables San Diego to keep taking singles. And they know that they don't need the big hits. So you need to induce the false shot there. Andreas is encouraging the young bowler to get a sequence of dot balls. And he's right. I mean, dot balls build pressure. I will say that the Seattle bowlers have struggled to maintain a consistent line. 3 good balls in an over. That was slapped again over mid-wicket for an easy single. A little bit short, allowing Marty to go on the back foot, rock back on the back foot, and pull that to deep mid-wicket for a single.
Well, this is some good news out there, guys. The sun is beeping out of the clouds. I can clearly see the shadows on the ground. Sun is out there, sneaking through the clouds, which is a rarity in Seattle. But in summer, we expect 2-3 months of clear skies. This is amazing day. I mean, if you are a Seattleite, you wouldn't even imagine, you wouldn't even know how much happy we feel when we see the sun breaking through the clouds, when the light is out, and especially for cricketers. In a way, the more sun out, it's good for the ground to dry up. It makes scoring a little bit easier, which might go in against the batting or the fielding team right now. But the key, as you mentioned, is the line and length. You have to be very disciplined, as what we saw in the first half of the innings from San Diego. Whereas in the 4 bowlers that we have seen so far, except Shadley, Harmeet for a bit, he only bowled 1 over. But overall, the consistency, what San Diego has shown, we haven't seen that from Seattle yet. That's clever, a smart shot played by Sri Krishna. He looks like very settled out there. He's reading the ball, very quickly, reading the line and lengths. He has a full control out there in the middle and making this run chase look easy. But 6 runs and over looks very easy from a T20 perspective, but given the conditions, given the slow bowling attack they still have, I still think we have a game in our hands.
Yes, and for that, the Thunderbolts are going to look for wickets. They need wickets now. At this point in time, San Diego seems to be cruising. But all you need to do is look at the run, look at the scoring rate, 54 for 2. If you can imagine it as 54 for 4, it'll look very different. And actually, from a scoring rate perspective, I don't think Seattle was that far. Perhaps similar at this stage. They just lost a couple of extra wickets. This contest is going to be important. Harmeet to Sri Krishna. If Harmeet can maintain a strangle on that, get stitched together 2 or 3 dot balls in a sequence, that'll be telling. He has a good feel. He's got a first slip. A little bit straying to middle stump, allowing Sri Krishna to bring his wrists into play for an easy single to mid-on.
This is a shot I was referring to also in the past, Arvind, that Sri Krishna has a good, he trusts his wrists, he trusts his eyesight, and he plucks his left foot firmly front end, and at the last minute it brings down the bat and using his wrist, pushes that ball into that mid wicket and mid on area. That has been very productive for him so far. Sometimes cricketers have to understand that it's not about hard hitting, it's also being smart, playing and playing to your strengths. And given there's no room, the only way you can make runs is exactly what Sri Krishna is doing in the middle. Trust your eyesight, trust your footwork. And that's a big heave outside the off stump. But Marty was quick enough to pull all over, dragging the ball from outside the off stump towards the leg side, to the onside, to the deep mid wicket, and get an easy single and enjoy the cricket from the other end.
Yes, and Marty has looked very comfortable playing off the back foot. And he seems to have a very strong leg side game. Sri Krishna back on strike. Harmeet making changes, wants to get his fielder setting spot on. A good ball. Very good ball. It's been tough for Seattle to piece together enough dot balls. Harmeet is doing that. He needs support from the other end. A couple of overs where you get 3 to 4 runs will bring the pressure right on. If you couple that with a wicket, you never know. A little bit short, allowing Sri Krishna to drive that to backward point for a single.
And also, given the target, given the situation or the position that San Diego are in right now, I would, hope to see some tactical changes, tactical moves by the captain, or some aggressive field placement. Something needs to happen. Something needs to give in. But right now, I feel it's more of a defensive field. Provided you have a good score to defend, getting singles and dot balls might put pressure on. But if you're chasing a paltry score of 119, 120, and you give away singles and twos, that would take the pressure off of the chasing team. And also, since they just lost 2 wickets, it's been a while since we got a breakthrough. It doesn't appear to have any pressure on them. So for me, it's you make those tactical moves. Something needs to happen. Something needs to give in. So I would change the bowling. Like I can see, I think Harmeet is doing the right thing.
Yes, there's
Try.
a conference, and it looks like
Try something different. Try something new. Try to put some pressure. Make the batsman think. To do something stupid. I would say, that's how you're going to break this partnership. I would say give Karan Rao a go. I've seen Karan Rao play. I played along with him in the past. He's an amazing attacking and aggressive bowler. He would not only put a stop on the run rate, but also would chip in with the wickets. Abir, again, I played along with him in the past. A very good bowler. It was, I think, 2 years ago when we had this cricket in 2019. 2020 was a washout, as we all know, because of pandemic. 2021, we're just getting back into action, not to the fullest. Many of us haven't even started playing again, but good to see in action. Hope Abir and Karan would continue their run from the past and help Seattle bring themselves back into the game.
yes, Abir into the attack. Marty drives one to long off for an easy single. This San Diego squad, their batting, they seem to have some good depth and class in their batting. Marty and Sri Krishna have looked very comfortable out there. You're right, Pradeep. Seattle needs a wickets perhaps, and they need them now. 60 runs in 10 overs is not going to trouble San Diego much. More importantly, they seem to have no trouble taking singles. Seattle has found it tough to dry up the singles. They're taking singles at ease, showing their maturity. And you're right, maybe they need more attacking fields. I know they're defending a small target, but if you're going to have long on and long off and deep fielders, the singles are there on offer. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're taking singles. Oh, there's confusion.
There's a confusion, a mix-up right there. There's a chance of a run out there. Yes, there is a chance of a run out, and that is a huge wicket. Given the game situation, the batsman that is most comfortable and looked in control, Sri Krishna, has to return back to the pavilion. That's a bad mix-up out there, and hopefully this breakthrough. And as we are talking, the change in the bowler, change in something has changed and got the break that they were looking for. In this case, Marty placed it, right next to the short third-man fielder, and he thought of sneaking a single, and gave a call. The non-striker was ready to respond, and halfway down, in a couple of yards, he turned down the single, and it was too late for Sri Krishna to make a turn and come back, and it was an easy run out, for the bowler Abir to commit to, and that's I hope is a huge turning point in the game. And also to a point, Arvind, the tricky situation that Seattle was caught in was when they lost the toss and were put in. And the target always is a tricky, and especially when the conditions, ground fielding, the ground is so wet, the ball wouldn't travel. The batsman, I think, missed the clue, missed a point. They were trying to hit the ball in the air. In doing so, they ended up losing wickets. But on the other hand, if you look at San Diego, the conditions are slightly drier, and they already know what the target is set, and they're not taking many chances. So what that does is the wicket taking ability will be minimized.
That's right, and unfortunately it's been the case for Seattle in all 4 games. They've had to play first. They've not had the ability to read the conditions. Batting first, you quite don't know how the pitch is going to react, what's a good target. Every game has been a new game for them on that particular ground. Meanwhile, the dismissal of Sri Krishna brought Ravi Tambawala to the mix. It was an unfortunate mix-up for San Diego, a fortuitous break and turn for Seattle. Confusion between striker and non-striker, whether the single was on. It's probably the opening that Seattle needed. Meanwhile, a continuing tight over from Abir. It keeps the pressure on. A series of dot balls on the wicket. Suddenly there's energy in the Seattle Thunderbolts camp. There is the morale ought to have become better with that over. A crucial breakthrough. It's going to be interesting to see whether Seattle can take advantage of that. But I can see the body language pepping up there.
Also on the light note, Arvind, looks like the Seattle players, Harmeet Singh, captain in particular, is hearing our conversation or hearing our commentary, and is making the changes that we are asking for. So it's on the lighter note, but so far whatever we were discussing and talking, commenting the game about, Harmeet literally, I think, is taking a clue out of that, and so far has done an amazing job. But as you mentioned, Seattle Thunderbolts were slightly on the wrong side on calling the coin. I believe in the last 3 games also they've been set to bat first. Those were the foreign conditions and not suited for them, and they ended up short in all those 3 innings. But I would like to see Seattle chasing ones, because this is an amazing team that they have put together, and they have a lot of potential. All those players that you saw today, they would definitely prove us wrong if they chase in one of the games. So
that
was
was that a bum ball, Pradeep, or was that I thought there was a
I think it's spectators catch.
Catch, is that?
It's a spectators catch, so we all got excited.
We got excited there. We got excited because it was a good ball pitching on off and turning away from the righty. Oh, a nice fluent shot. A little bit of length on offer there. The batsman is Ravi Tambawala.
Another senior, experienced
batter.
High-level professional batter.
That's right. And slapping that to covers for a single, bringing Marty back on strike. But Seattle has done well in the last 3 overs to pull the run rate back. They've given away, 13 runs, 14 runs in the last 3.
Oh, nice spin.
Again, good turn from Nital.
The pace on the ball. Did you see the pace on the ball?
Yeah, that's
He
right.
really pitched it hard and fast. I like the variation there. That's what puts some doubts in the batsman's mind.
Oh,
There you go.
that
There
was
you
a
go.
high-
There you go.
Oh, what a catch! What a catch! Oh my God, that was sensational! Sensational fielding from Seattle, the one that you see on the field. But nevertheless, it's a 6. I mean, that was incredible fielding. That was an outstanding attempt at saving the catch out of the boundary. It was a hard-hit ball, backward square leg. The fielder diving to his left, taking the catch, throwing it to his partner, who then comes along and takes it. But in doing so, went just outside the boundary. That would have been incredible had he managed to put it, oh, right through their hands. Right through the hands there, even as I finished talking about that. So a
So-
6 and a boundary in back-to-back balls.
The ball, the previous, if you look at the previous balls, the 2 balls before, when he bowled with pace and made the ball turn, we are saying that it would create a doubt in the mind of the batsman, and that's exactly what happened in the next 2 shots. One went into deep mid wicket where he was caught, but in throwing the ball back to the other fielder coming in, I think it's Anirudh who done a fantastic job in holding to the catch, but overstepped the boundary, and it converted into a 6. And soon after, the next ball, again, it was playing in the batsman's mind because it was dropped, and he went for another expansive shot. It was driven flat to long on. Unfortunately, the fielder ran through a little bit early, and the ball flew past his right shoulder through his arms, on bounce into the deep long on fence for 4. And hope that catch would not play play any games in his mind as the bowler. I feel, it's not Sahil, so it is Abir to continue the bowling. Sahil is the one on long on.
Those are much needed runs for San Diego. That 6 and the 4 got the scoring rate back up for them. The equation is again back to 48 runs in 8 overs.
Imagine 2 wickets and 10 runs.
That's right.
Right?
That would have been an incredible breakthrough for Seattle.
This is what a fielding side can do to a game. Imagine 2 catches taken and 10 runs saved. It's like the game changer right there.
That's very true. Very true. Seattle's doing well. They still have a slip on. They're doing the right thing. This match has to be won with wickets in hand for San Diego. Seattle's doing the right thing, attacking, bowling to a inside-out field. Well bowled, well fielded.
So Abir Chippa is a very tidy left-arm bowler. He doesn't believe in flight. He believes a lot in his line and length. As you can see, pushes the ball very hard. And his left shoulder comes into action at the last minute and is upset with himself because his line was slightly drifting down the leg side, letting the batsman get away with the easy single. But his kind of an action and bowling is really, really good for left-handers. So I'm counting that this would be a good matchup. Abir bowling to left-handers.
I agree, Pradeep. You know, he is Seattle Thunderbolts Jadoo. Getting his left shoulder into action. Not much of variation, but really his strength is his line and length and the consistency, and that's really what Seattle needs at this moment. Getting Marty Kane, his wicket is going to be crucial. Oh! That was a lightning quick.
Just mentioned
Yeah.
Abir's potential or his liking for left-handers, and you saw that.
Yeah, that was a false stroke. Beat him
as
in air.
set batsman.
Absolutely.
And that way is it's a treat to watch. I mean, that's an amazing control on the flight and the drift. If we are seeing it on live, folks, it's amazing control, the drift that he had. And to beat a batsman who settled and been watching the ball and looking like a football, and to get that kind of misstroke is amazing.
And again, another dot ball. This has been a good sequence for Seattle. The pressure can build even on a player like Marty. Marty's on 30, on 33 balls. It's been a good over.
So far.
That was lightning quick glove work, by the way.
Yep.
Taking the bails off in a flash in that over. The batsman scampering for a single double, but well run in the end. Well run in the end. Safe.
Well judged, couple. 75, 72.
That's right. The target is 45 and 7. 45 or 49.
I think run rate is not a challenge here. I think what Seattle needs to make the game interesting is fielding side, especially supporting the bowlers and converting some half chances. So converting half chances into catches So they have 45 and 42 balls. Still a good run rate. The game can go to the wire. Since the last few overs, we have seen a tussle, a fight between bat and ball. The 10 runs where the 2 catches been dropped has been converted to 10 runs. So that's slightly swinging the game in favor of San Diego Surf Riders. But they still have plenty slow bowling options. Harmeet just bowled 2 overs. He still have 2 in his kitty. And we haven't seen Karan Rao in action yet. Abir still has 2 overs in his kitty. And Sahil is a good young slow bowler as well. So we have game in our hand, folks. Don't leave the room or your TV sets or tablets or phones, wherever you're watching this game. We are in for a tight finish here.
Oh, good first ball by Harmeet. A good single, nevertheless, to backward point for a single. You're right, Pradeep. The sun is now out, peeking into the clouds there. Marty's wicket is going to be key. Marty is well set. He's a key batsman.
Yes, they will be kicking for letting him still be in the middle. As you said, yes, his wicket is crucial because he is lending that support that San Diego team needs right in the middle, and is faced.
Oh, an athletic dive there, but
Fail.
yeah, Marty seems to be playing really good off the back foot. You know, he's able to
He's
even for
taking
balls.
chances.
That's
I can
right.
say that because the way the spinners have been bowling, keeping a tight line and length, have a control on the batsman at least for now. That's forcing the batsman to take chances, and the ball is slightly, in this case as well, only a few meters away from the diving fielder. It could have gone into his hands. There! Oh,
That was tough stuff. See, they had slip there. That was the right intent, but I felt the first slip was a little bit wide, and that went in between.
the slip and the
And
wicket
keeper.
keeper.
That was a perfect ball for a left-arm orthodox off spinner. I mean, that is just precisely what you would want, beating the outside edge. But the ball bisected first slip and keeper.
Yeah. This is where I think I need the captain and the fielding side to look at being aggressive, make some moves, make some tactical moves, either in the field or in the bowling changes, but make something happen that puts additional pressure on the batsman. And if you get them in their brain, you will definitely see wickets tumbling.
That's true. Very true. Mind games are important here. But meanwhile, San Diego seems to be negotiating the danger over as well.
The sun is beating down, folks. This is amazing news for San Diego folks. Coming to Seattle and seeing this kind of weather, I think it's a blessing for them, and making so many miles, traveling so many miles. That's a big
That's the shot that Marty has played. Very good work on the outfield.
fantastic feeling again.
Very good
by
outwork on outfield, saving 2
Anirudh.
runs for sure by Anirudh. But that's the shot that Marty has played all game so well, Pradeep. He seems to get on the back foot, even for balls that are actually pitched up. Converting that and then pulling it over mid-wicket so well. How do you set a feel for that? I mean, he's able to hit along the ground or play over mid-wicket, and he's done that all day so well.
Correct. So
There again, a single there past mid-wicket. For a off spinner or for a left arm off spinner, getting the ball into the left-hander. But if the batsman is comfortable rocking on the back foot and then playing it around mid-wicket, it's a great way of negating a left arm off spinner's threat.
yeah, I think that's a very good observation, Arvind. The way the batsman, Marty in particular, is now settled out there in the middle. He was lucky to, be still out there in the middle, having seen 2 catches being dropped. But I think his intent is very clear. He's playing to the field. You only see 4 fielders on the leg side or on the horn side. I would take a chance and put another fielder and stop that shot from him and make him play a false shot on the offside. So that's another thing that we could, or the captain could, experiment.
Oh, good ball. Good ball out there.
Given-
Not giving any room at all to open his line, and also pretty quick. Not enough room for even a player of Marty's class to go on the back foot and then punch it away. Or
In this
pull
game,
it.
Abir looked to be the most consistent slow left arm bowler.
I agree, Pradeep. I mean, gives very little time for the bowler. There I go.
The cross shot again.
Beautifully bowled. Beautifully bowled. I mean, hardly any time for the batsman to react. And actually, I think he's read Marty pretty well.
Yeah, and Marty is actually focusing on the cow corner. In the last few shots that I've seen, he's attempting to hit again.
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh,
whoa.
that's a catch.
Again, inducing the fall shot.
See, this is exactly what I was trying to say a ball ago, that he's trying that cow corner, and if you
Yes.
place another fielder there and force him to make a false shot, in this case, I think you cannot blame the bowler.
No, definitely not.
It's an edge, and also to be fair on the wicket keeper, the edge was a thick edge,
Yeah, that's right.
and when a batsman swings with all his power and might, the deviation is very hard for the keeper to track. To be fair on the wicket keeper,
Absolutely.
But these are the chances that
Yes.
we're talking about have
right.
to be taken
That's true.
to get back in the game.
That's true. But it's been a very effective over. 3 dot balls are going to pull pressure. That forcing that quick single like that could go anywhere. No, I think the batsman is safe there. But that's the ball. To your point, Pradeep, Abir is actually showing the team the effectiveness of line and length bowling there. Brilliant bowling to a batsman, as well set as Marty Kane, not allowing to take to open his shoulders at all. This is a good contest. This is a good over. Pulling the economy rate back a little bit.
36 in 32.
36 and 32, yeah. It's still a contest, folks. Don't go anywhere.
Absolutely, and he's creating chances, and that's good to see.
Oh, that could have gone anywhere. Off the inside edge, inducing the fall shot. The ball actually goes to square leg for a streaky single. That
As,
could have gone anywhere, Pradeep.
as they say, the rub of the luck is slightly in favor of San Diego today than on the Seattle side. That ball could have gone and hit the leg stump, just missed by a whisker. And
2 fall shots, 2 chances in that over.
correct.
Good accurate bowling by young Abir.
So 35 still required of 31 deliveries, legal deliveries that is. Abir is has struck a good line and length and creating chances on each and every delivery. This one pitched outside the off stump.
Single there and the over. But outstanding bowling under the circumstances, Pradeep. 3 overs for 8 runs. That is just fantastic bowling in the context of the game.
He could have gotten a wicket as well,
Yeah, it's true.
putting the pressure back on.
2 of them in that over, actually, if you had any luck there. But this is interesting. This is going to be the final leg of the game. Captain, vice captain get in for a quick huddle. Yes, they should. Why not? They should. Crucial overs, crucial decisions. Harmeet has an over left. Shadley has an over left. Innings management is going to be critical. They have to get this right. How they wish that Abir or Harmeet had an extra over at this stage of the game.
Looks like Karan Rao might not be bowling at all because I haven't seen him loosening up, or could be some injuries, plaguing out there. If not, Karan would have been a big impact on this game. So I haven't seen Karan in action yet.
34 of 30. I agree, Pradeep. It's pretty late in the game for a bowler to come in first crack. But you never know. Let's see.
Only reason to keep him away would be some injury or he's not fit to bowl. As I know, I've heard in the past year he's going through some injuries. So it could be that why we're not seeing him in action. If not, no captain would have held him so late until even given the target that we have. Hopefully we'll see him in action, but oops.
Our side screen, the wind is picking up. A pretty steady breeze. It's knocked our side screen over a little bit, resulting in a halt in the action.
A slight delay in the forks, guys.
It's a pretty stiff breeze out there. It's knocked the side screen off.
As we try to fix it.
It takes 4 software engineers to fix a side screen.
Yeah.
Seattle has no dearth of them.
Oh, while we're waiting for the side screen to be fixed, I can see Adrian Gauss, the Seattle player. Adrian?
Andreas,
Andreas, can you come here for a second, please?
No, he's not in the mood for it. I don't blame him. Intensely focused on the game. More volunteers scurrying in to
Karan,
fix the side screen.
Karan. Aiden, do you know why Karan is not bowling? Somebody can give us the clue if he's injured or.
There's a brief halt to the play, like we said. A stiff breeze knocked the side screen off the fence. "34 runs required of 30 balls, 86 for 3 San Diego."
It's still interestingly placed. If Seattle can come up with Marty's wicket,
I think so too.
they still are in the game.
Oh,
There's still a
definitely,
chance.
definitely. This is still, I think it's San Diego's game to lose, but definitely a chance for both teams here. It looks like Nithal is going to go bowl his last over. And why not? A leg spinner. His length to Marty is going to be critical.
Yep.
Marty, as we have seen in this entire game, all you need is for a ball to be fraction short for him to rock back on his back foot and play it over cow corner. He's played, I'm sure his wagon wheel is going to illustrate how effective he has been on the leg side. And this despite 4 over. I mean, Seattle has often employed a 5-4 field for him, but that has not stopped him from taking those singles down to mid-wicket, or either side of mid-wicket really well.
We are still the plays hold up because of a small issue here with our side screens. Wind started blowing aggressively here where we stand. It's going from I would say in a west to east direction. That caused the side screen to blow away, but the committee members are fixing it. It should be up there in another minute or so. But this gives us a chance to look back at what is left in the game. Another 30 balls to go.
Yeah.
And
34 required in 30.
the runs and the run rate is not an issue. The issue is the wickets. Seattle, if they want to get back in the game, they need to get a couple of breakthroughs. They had a good chance to get that, but did not go their way. We've seen as many as 3 catches being dropped. 2 of them are very odd chances, I would say.
That's right.
But we still need to make or convert those off chances, to win these crucial games. And given that this is their 4th game on the trot, 3 haven't gone in their favor. So one would expect the fielders to lift up the morale by taking those half chances, those catches.
Yeah, that old cliche of catches winning matches is just so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, and that too of a well-said Marty. That's exactly what they needed.
Let me find out one thing.
Yeah, but that said, Seattle's ground fielding has been pretty sharp. The players have thrown themselves out. It happens. It happens. Meanwhile, the side screen is being set up. I reckon we'll have it in place in a few minutes. The action is meanwhile resumed in the middle.
Oh, wide.
Nithal is back into the attack. Straying down on the offside a little bit. That is a breeze, so it's going to be difficult for the leggy. Much better ball! That was an appeal. Oh!
Run out as well.
Okay, that's action there. That's exactly what a leg spinner does. That ball turned pretty sharp. I reckon still missing off stump. But it was a good shout.
Could be height also.
It could be height too, that's very true. And then they ran for a single. A direct hit would have put the batsman in trouble. So definite chance out there. And that's what left leggies can do. They can produce a wicket out of nowhere.
I think you're right, Arvind. The height seems to be the issue that umpire was not satisfied. But it's a good shout and good call. Stepping out and driving it in the air to long on. It's a fumble there by the fielder, but quickly getting the ball back in, preventing the batsman from taking the second run. So they still need 32 runs in 28 balls. I think a wicket here will make the game interesting, not only for the players but for everyone. There are a handful spectators around watching, which is a good sign. As I was told that they were, this ball is up in the air, it could be out, it could be a chance, it's a chance, it's going to be on the boundary, and the foe just clears the tall Shadley on the boundary and clears the boundary rope for a 6. That's a chance. It could have gone into the fielder's hand, but like I was suggesting in the beginning, due to the short, long boundaries, the batsman was lucky enough to just clear it for a 6, and that shifts or puts San Diego in a good position right now with 25 runs needed of 27 balls. So now the runs to score are less than the balls left, which is a good sign for San Diego.
That was a false stroke,
This
Pradeep. That could have gone.
The hands, and that breeze also carried away the ball over the boundary ropes.
When we saw the ball coming off the bat, that seemed like a distinct chance. But San Diego is playing well. They're not letting the pressure get to them. They're still playing their shots. Marty seems to be tired. Seems to be cross with himself for missing out on that. That catch was... Yep, I agree with you, Pradeep. I think the crossman helped there. But I have to give it to San Diego for being gutsy and going through with the shot. This is a good team. It's a good contest. It's beautiful to see two teams giving not an inch to each other. Oh, another aggressive shot there.
Oh, misfield.
It's a misfield that could have kept it down to a no ball.
I think it's just a group, right? The misfield. Number 50. Yep. Number 50 is the group. I think these misfields and letting the batsman take a run where there is no run, and then also easing of the pressure, because dot balls do count, at least when you're coming into the last leg of the game. And that's a brilliantly hit, swatted off, I would say, from offside off stump to deep long on for a single. And this is a shot that he has employed in the last few overs very effectively, I would say, Marty, because he can see the ball as clear as a football right now, been there in the middle for a while. But in a way, feeling kind of let Seattle down up until now.
See, the game seems to be running away from them. 22 runs of 24. It's not too late. I mean, again, another mid-pitch conference between captain and vice
Karan
captain.
in action. For some reason, Karan has not been called to bowl yet. Could be an injury, could be other reasons, but he's a bowler who would definitely change the complexion of the game. There's nothing to lose for Seattle than giving a chance and try something different, right? So if it's an injury, makes sense, but if it's not injury, then it's a mind-boggling situation for me to understand why Karan is not in action yet.
Final 4 overs. This over is going to be key. Seattle needs to get a move on this over.
That
that's
drop shot of Harmeet in extra cover.
Yes, that could have gone anywhere. Good throw, knocking down the stumps. That could have gone anywhere. Again, Seattle not having...
To be fair, on Seattle Thunderbolts team, luck hasn't gone their way. Luck hasn't gone their way at all. The ball been dropped on either sides of the fielders, like by meters or inches.
Marty is meanwhile 47. He's really been the centerpiece of San Diego's inning. Outstanding batting by the coached player.
Actually,
21 runs of 3.5 overs. It's San Diego is in charge, I would say, at this point of the game, definitely.
Ooh.
Not too late to produce another phenomenal ball.
Great
beating him on the outside
from
edge.
Abir. No idea how it missed the stumps, the off stump and top of the off stump. Amazing ball there from Abir. Excellent rhythm that he has in. I think it's his last over. He's been the most effective bowler so far, even though he doesn't have a wicket in his analysis or in his belt, but an amazing show of 4 overs from Abir. Excellent control, excellent line and length, forcing the batsman to make mistakes, and not even a single boundary so far off his bowling, if I remember correctly.
That's right. He's
That's-
not conceded a boundary. And that's credit to his line and length.
That
The
itself is an
consistency has been.
achievement for a T20 game, right?
That's right.
Not going for a boundary in your spell of 4 overs speaks volumes of your control on line and length, and making batsmen sticking to the crease and just respecting those balls speaks volumes of your control on line and length.
It's going to
Amazing
be
stuff.
interesting to see when they bring Shadley back for his final over. Might be as soon as next over.
Oh, just clearing the infield.
Could be a couple
Harmeet
there.
Singh again.
Could be a couple. It is.
And it's time for a couple easy runs. That was again very close to outstretched diving hands of Harmeet. Could have been a stunner of a catch if it stuck in his hands, but like again we've been talking about this, luck has not been in Seattle's way, but all credit to San Diego, the way they put in their efforts. The batting looked extremely solid.
That's a very well played too for a wonderful 50 by
Oh,
Captain Marty Kane. That was well played. I have to give credit to San Diego. Marty especially. He's carried the batting. Brilliant batting. Brilliant
Brilliant.
batting.
Hats off. Fantastic batting.
In quick time, Pradeep, 51 of 49 balls.
The need
and he's
of the
actually,
hour.
and he's looked good from ball one. You know, he's never been, he's never allowed the bowlers to settle into any kind of
This
rhythm.
is a chance,
It's
but
gone, wow, but
safe.
it's been the story of the game for so far for Seattle, has it not?
Yep.
That was a fall shot out of the top edge, but falling harmlessly in vacant area between square leg and mid wicket.
I would say a very unlucky bowler, Abir. 3 out of those last 4 hits in his 4 deliveries have fetched the team runs, but they were almost, at a potential of getting a wicket, another breakthrough. But all kudos to Marty, the captain, who is instrumental in taking this team through. It's not there yet, it's not done yet, but he, at least I would say, he has put his team in a position to clinch this match away from Seattle. Even though for a couple of deliveries he lost his concentration, but in T20 you would expect that the players would go for big hits in a hope of clearing the boundaries. But he picked the long boundary in one case. The fielder came in with a stunning catch, but stepped out of the bounds to be ruled as a 6. The next one was actually the one that Seattle would ruin for not holding that catch. If, like again, there's no ifs and buts in cricket, but that would have put this game in a real tussle, interesting tussle. But now it looks like San Diego Surf Riders taking this game away from Seattle. It's a formality, I feel.
14 runs required, last 3. Harmeet bringing himself on for a final over. These next 2 overs, let's see. Harmeet has bowled well as well today. This is going to be a crucial over. Seattle has no choice but to attack at this moment.
I've seen stumping miss stumping there and a bye.
Yes, that was absolutely a mistumping. It went off the leg by, given to the batsman. It was tough. There was a lot of deviation there.
A fair on the wicketkeeper. It deviated or deflected off the batsman's pad when he stepped down to hit him over long on. And that deviation, unfortunately, did not stick in keeper's hands or gloves by the time he could collect and get it back in. They were back home safely.
Marty back on strike. A sweep to deep square leg for a single. Taking the ball on the full. 12 runs required now of 16 balls. Harmeet has to produce some magic for Seattle to turn this run around. Does Seattle have it in their armor to pull one here from nowhere? Another fall shot, another top edge, and yet another ball landing safely.
And yet another couple.
Harmlessly there.
All these false shots and balls ballooning into no man's land. I've fetched them couple all the time, and that's the story of the day for them in the last few overs.
That's right, adding salt to the injury there.
Oh, again,
Oh,
miss,
that's a stumping miss. That's a genuine miss there. Drawing the fall shot. The batsman coming down, being beaten. Unfortunately, not only did it beat the batsman, it beat the keeper as well. A miss stumping there.
I think Seattle needs to look into their fielding unit. They need to make some adjustments. Sometimes it's harsh on folks, but this one looks to be a regulation stumping chance that was gone begging. And see another shot, heave, tried by Matty. Looks like he has so much of luck today. I mean, Marty tried many things and everything is working in his favor. So much of luck. I don't think any batsman would see that kind of luck.
9 runs required of 14 balls. Meanwhile, 3 more from Harmeet in this over. It's good to see Seattle fight all the way here. Good ball again, but quick single nevertheless. Good running between the wickets by Marty, taking a start. Batsman calling for water, change of gloves.
I think the team lost the trick, when they got the set Sri Krishna, the batsman, out for a misunderstanding that ended up in a run out. I thought that's when they had a chance to peg back or pull back the game in their favor, Seattle, which is. And top of it, few missed chances, dropped catches, missed stumpings, missed runouts. All in all, the fielding unit, I would say, has let down Seattle today, especially when you are defending a paltry score, which is under par score. Given the conditions, the fielding definitely needs to step up to provide that momentum and provide that impetus for the bowlers to deliver. That did not happen. But these things are expected in a tightly contested game. Even with all those dropped chances, missed stumpings, missed runouts, still they haven't done that bad. I mean, they are still within one overshot. When you talk about 7 runs in 12, and look at that now, 19th over, look who is it to bowl? It's Karan Rao. This is the person that I've been wanting to see in action for a while now. Reasons known only to that's a 6. That's a huge hit, but I can't blame Karan at this point of the game. Every bowler who comes in at 19th or 20th over loosening his arms is not easy.
And full license for the batsman to go for the big shot here.
Exactly.
The wind picking up, the breeze picking up. But nevertheless, at this point in time, Pradeep, I want to give credit to how well San Diego has bowled. It's been a game, I feel that Seattle didn't lose, but San Diego has won by their positive stroke play. They have not let some of those singles, some of those top edges stop them. So I would say a well-earned win by San Diego. They finished it off in style in the 19th over. Fair number of wickets to spare. So congratulations to Team San Diego for winning the first of this doubleheader over the weekend. And with that, we bring the action to a close. But for all the folks, for all our viewers, we thank you for tuning in and for watching the entire game. We would like to remind you that this is a doubleheader. We have action resuming here again tomorrow morning for a game between the two teams again, and we hope that one lasts the distance as well. This was exciting despite the fact that it ended with around 6 wickets left to go. Fantastic batting. Congratulations to Team San Diego. Pradeep, any final words?
Yeah, congratulations, San Diego Surf Riders. Well-deserved victory. Basically, they took away the game by understanding the conditions. Tough luck, Seattle Thunderbolts. We still have many areas to look at and improve on. But thanks for the organizers and especially my co-partner Arvind. Wonderful. We had pleasure bringing this to you guys, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it too. And as the cricket is improving in Seattle, we also from a commentary board will improve our commentary. And we'll bring more pleasant stories and pleasant information from cricket grounds all across the Seattle, right here in Pacific Northwest. Thank you, guys.